pretty, be so dangerous. She's only 5 foot tall, but maybe 5'2" in her wrestling boots. And I hear she can even sing. She's the champ of everything. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? How can a chick on TV make me feel like this? She's got a finishing move called Twisted Bliss, and it's like my heart is caught in a sleeper hole. Whoa, oh, oh. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? She says some really mean stuff to the other wrestlers. Some say they hate her, but they just don't get her. And if you try to bring her down, she'll say, bless your heart. Her favorite song's Girl All the Bad Guys Want. Sometimes she cheats, but she never gets caught, yeah. She's got a pig named Larry Steve, and he's so smart. I love to watch her in the ring. To me, she's the champ of everything. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? How can a chick on TV make me feel like this? She's got a finishing move called Twisted Bliss, and it's like my heart is caught in a sleeper hole. Whoa, oh, oh. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? Alexa Bliss shows the power box Becky into a pave your new women's champion, Alexa Bliss. Who rolls up Bliss? Alexa Bliss wins. First woman in history to win SmackDown Championship and now the Raw Championship. Title uniform, got her. New champion, Alexa Bliss. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? How can a chick on TV make me feel like this? She's got a finishing move called Twisted Bliss, and it's like my heart is caught in a sleeper hole. Whoa, oh, oh. Why can't every girl be more like Alexa Bliss? Alexa Bliss. Larry Steve.
Well, hello, little fucks. Oh. Happy Friday, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to the Gabbin+Games. Hello, Brian King. Hello, F. Rally. Hello, everybody in the chat. It's good to see you. If you are watching this later and listening to this as you're driving in your little car, or if you're listening to it in the bedroom or whatnot, it's also good to hear you or to speak to you after the fact. It's nice to see all the members. Thank you for being a member. We have a little bit of news to get through today, and if we get through it in time and we get through our good conversation in time, we will play the demo of Little Nightmares 2 that just dropped a couple of days ago. My hair looks powerful today, says Brian. It really fucking does, baby. Let me tell you something. This is going to get all shaved off this weekend. That is my hope. That is my goal, because this is getting fucking crazy. Hello, Mutant Mo. He says, it's a rare Friday stream. It's a rare Friday stream for me, since I'm usually working, but I have the weekend off. I'm glad you're here, sir. Captain Hogwash, what do you mean only a little bit of news? Is there a lot more fucking news going on that I don't know about? I mean, obviously we know last night were the Game Awards. We streamed that live. The Last of Us Part 2 swept the awards for the most part. Obviously, I don't really agree with that, but at the same time, I gotta be fair. I hadn't played it, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about Kotaku put up an editorial today about their take on it winning the Game Awards last night, and we want to get into that. So that's really what's going on. The Zodiac Code cracking story sounds interesting, says Mutant Mo. We don't really talk about that kind of crazy shit anymore, but I might do a separate stream on it. If you don't know what he's talking about, Mutant Mo says there was a 51-year-old secret code left by the Zodiac Killer. And I guess eventually, or today, they finally cracked it. But I don't remember, I didn't read what it said. Hunter the Reckoning says Senator Tom Tillis is trying to send streamers to jail. Well, that's not entirely true. What he's trying to do is capitulate at the altar of the big media corporations who basically are paying him lots of money to keep him in office. And he's trying to push this bill through that says one of the consequences for streaming copyright material is actual prison time. There is a very good argument that suggests that will not hold up in court. That is sort of, as they like to say, will have a chilling ramification on free speech, at least in America. And so I don't really have too much concern. But if it is, it is. I mean, let's put it this way. Think about this for a moment. I don't know if Sony's on the list, but I want to say I did see Sony on the list of media corporations that have been contributing to his campaigns and his funds and all these sorts of things. Sony's interesting because Sony comes out with a console that literally has a button that says share. They literally release video games that have copyright songs in them without giving the user any opportunity to not share. So it's like, well, are you at least going to tell me, Sony, if I'm going to share something, which one's going to get me in trouble? No. So if I stream Little Big Planet and I play a level, not Little Big Planet, if I stream Sackboy's Big Adventure like I've done and I stream the level that has the Bruno Mars song, I'm going to get a copyright hit. It wasn't a strike, but YouTube picked it up, the algorithm, and says, hey, you can't do that. Well, according to Tom Tillis's law, you might end up going to jail for doing such nonsense. So, I mean, I don't mind that. I've done a hard time. I know what it's like inside the joint. It's really not bad when you're someone like me, when you basically can rule the roost. But for people like you watching, it's probably not good news. And so I would worry about it. But I think Sony is like, a lot of these media companies benefit from aspects of it, the video game streaming and things like that. I'd like to think what they're talking about is more things like, if you are streaming movies that you don't have the rights to and you're doing it to a huge degree, and it's really more about going after piracy. But I'm sure it will be written in such a blanket way, and it will probably be thrown out of court. Hello, Laura Luna! Laura Luna, we haven't seen you in a cat's eye. That means nothing. It makes no sense. No one has ever used that phrase cat's eye to denote a passage of time that is long enough to be noticeable. However, the point is, Laura Luna, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope your parents are doing well. Hope they're feeling better. It sounds like the last time we talked, they were on the mend. So I hope everybody is doing great. Buzati says, what are you in for? Murder. What about you? I was streaming Mario, man. That's exactly right. Hello, Sir Games X. Hey, news for you, buddy. Alex in Chicago got his truck. He has your Papa's truck, the Funko Pop truck, and UPS is supposed to be sending you guys a car today or tomorrow to pick that up for you, or from him to get it to you guys. So there's where you go. Okay, so let's get into some news, shall we? Mutant Mo says they're all about flagging copyrights, but never paying more than a few ducats to the artist. Well, yeah, I mean, look, there ain't no doubt it's corrupt. I mean, there's no doubt that it's not about the goodness of people's hearts trying to do the right thing for the most part. It's about where the ducats come from. Joshua Herrera says, notice me, senpai. It's really not that big of a deal to be noticed by me. Ask your mother. She's really getting tired of me. But it's nice to see you, sir. It's good to see you, pal. Hey, Dave, did you get my custom sweet tooth picks? No. Where would I have acquired these, Connor? Custom sweet tooth picks? No. I'd like to see them, though. Let me tell you something. I want to talk about the Utes of today. This bothers me a little bit, but it is what it is. There was a study, and this is about video games, I promise. I'll get to a video game aspect in just a moment. There was a study about, I don't know what it was. It was about 2 years ago now, where they interviewed high school students in America, and they asked the high school students, should the government have the right to tell the news media what they can say and not say? And over 50% of high school students said yes. They said the government should be able to go to the New York Times, they should be able to go to CNN, Fox News, what have you, and say, you're not allowed to say this, you can't criticize this, blah, 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 blah. And these were not kids in China, by the way. These were not kids in Soviet era, Russia in 1985. This is America in 2015, 16. And I bring this up because I don't really think a lot of kids these days are getting civics lessons in school. I don't know if this guy who posted what I'm about to show you on NeoGAF is a kid. But let's talk about his language, and then let's talk about the substance of his post for a moment. He puts up a post that says, should pre-rendered CGI trailers reveals for games be banned? The word banned is bandied around by Utes of this country like fucking a hacky sack. Jesus Christ, Jaffe, that's like mixing 90s kids. It doesn't matter. The point is, A lot of young kids use this shit, and even adults use this shit. You can't ban that shit. You can't do it. What do you want, the government to step in and say the First Amendment doesn't protect you from showing, the Gears of War 1 trailer Mad World commercial because there's only 2% of real-time gameplay, you fucking morons. These are the same people that talk about, I want the government to step in and get rid of microtransactions. It's like, dude, it's capitalism. It's a free country. Just don't buy the shit. I've been railing and shouting from the mountaintops against the horrors of pure CG trailers only for years. And now some gamers are catching up. And I'm like, I was saying this shit back when people were saying, what's the best video game commercial of the world? Oh, it's Mad World. It's Gears of War Mad World. It's so emotional. And I'm like, well, is the game that? No. The movie trailer, it's like, fuck you. The trailer should reflect what you're buying. It doesn't. I've learned to live with it. So should you. The point being, though, is people don't really want to put their money where their mouths are. Case in point, Kotaku comes out with an article today, which I thought it's about fucking time. This is an editorial. It's intentionally clearly labeled by little Stephen Totillo as an editorial. It is not Kotaku en masse saying we feel this way, but it should be. It should be because they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites along with the vast majority of games journalists. If they believe this. Now, I'm not a guy that thinks crunch is bad. I mean, it sucks. I think it's necessary. It's how greatness gets made. You don't like it, go work somewhere else. I've made 5 videos on that. You know how I feel about it. But this guy, this Ian Walker fella, he comes out and he says, games made under crunch conditions don't deserve Best Direction awards. They don't deserve any awards, as far as I'm concerned. If you are of the mind that crunch is bad and that the companies need to be unionized in order to prevent people working late. The ironic part about this is this guy probably has checked his email 10, 15 times a day based on either the actual technology or the inspiration of the technology that someone like Steve Jobs created when he was at Apple and when he was obviously alive. And Jobs was a notorious whip cracker of keeping people there, making them live there, making Apple their fucking lives, their blood in their fucking vein, the blood flowed Apple. I mean, you know, if you're going to walk the fucking walk, then fucking walk. Or you're going to talk the talk, then walk the fucking walk, is what I'm saying. This guy's got a great point, but it's like, look, if you're going to do that, then you shouldn't cover it either, Kotaku. You shouldn't give it a review. You shouldn't cover it. You shouldn't do interviews with Neil Druckmann. You shouldn't do interviews with Naughty Dog. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that because I don't have a problem with crunch like they do. But I think this guy, Ian, is right. You don't get to stand up on the fucking mountaintop and virtue signal to everybody about how crunch is terrible and it's not fair. And they compare it to Super Massive or Super Giant or whatever who made Hades, which was also up for a Game of the Year last night. And they're like, those guys don't crunch. No, they don't. But these guys do. Do with that what you will. And then he goes on to say, and I thought this was interesting, he goes on to talk about the Game Awards last night. And he says, well, you know, Keighley should put his foot down and say, you can't have your Best Direction award. Now, I mean, there's a couple things wrong with this, but Keighley should put his foot down and say, you don't get your Best Direction award. This is really weird, though. But again, Ian, let me give you a tip at Kotaku, buddy. Nobody knows what these awards really mean. Ian's just positing his own or opining his own take on it. He says, according to the Game Awards, Best Direction Award is given for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game design and design. This description makes it clear the responsibility for winning or losing rests solely on the shoulders of people in charge of leading development. In the case, that would be Neil Druckmann, who is often credited as the auteur behind the game's success. And Naughty Dog, he's saying the leadership subjected their workers to unbelievable levels of crunch to get the game done. And it's like, first off, that's not game direction. Maybe that's producer, right? But that's not what game direction is, okay, at all. That's just a little sidebar there about how fucked up these definitions are, that they don't really even mean the goddamn thing because people on the nominating committees don't even agree with what the fuck they're voting for. But that aside, he's saying, look, Keighley should say no fucking way. You shouldn't get these awards if you have done this kind of crunch. Yeah, he's probably right. And this guy on NeoGAF who wants to ban pre-rendered trailers, is he saying he doesn't want the government to do it? He wants Keighley to do it. Well, Keighley's not going to do it. Keighley's making bank, as he should, as a capitalist, as somebody who invested his own money in his own goddamn business. He's making bank. And it's clear the audience, for the most part, doesn't care. Kotaku's making enough bank to stay in business anyway. It's clear Stephen Totilo is capitulating to the corporate masters, because anybody who is a fan of not Crunch, of which Totilo, I imagine, is not, who's the editor-in-chief of this thing, would go, yeah, we shouldn't cover games that are made under conditions that we feel are offensive. But he's got to get paid too. And here's what I'm tired of. I'll get to the chat in just 2 seconds. I'm tired of I'm tired of all of the virtue signaling on the part of and I'm liberal. I don't mean I'm liberal. I'm progressive. But I'm tired of the virtue signaling on the part of the woke, quote, woke people out in the world that actually aren't really virtuous. If Kotaku was really virtuous, they wouldn't cover it. If Keeley, I don't think Keeley goes around complaining about Crunch at all. He's done a number of series like the final days of Half-Life, the final days of Last of Us. So he's never come out and said this is bad. But if he was against Crunch, he would need to put his foot down and say, no, I won't give awards to games that have been reported to go through Crunch. No one does it. So they go out to their readers, which is you guys, and at this point is me guys, and they try to make you feel like they're on the right side of things. And then you're on the wrong side of things too. I guess I am too, because I'm fucking clicking on a website and talking to you about it that literally is giving attention to a game that was created by Crunch. But I don't have a problem with Crunch, so maybe I'm okay. Let me go to the chat, then we're going to talk about the Game Awards a little bit last night. Last of Us 2 winning Game of the Award is Sweet Karma, says Dasme. Is that right? Dasme? Come on now. Really? That's the name? That's the name you picked out of any letter and character and no, that's fine. All right. Dasme says Last of Us 2 winning Game of the Year award is Sweet Karmic Justice, because they went through, after what they went through, especially getting harassed with death threats to Laura Bailey. Look, that's a ridiculous thing. You shouldn't win an award because you maybe you give out an award for the game creators who put up with the most toxic fans. I'm with you. But you don't fucking give them an award just because they put up with that shit. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. The guys who just put out Cyberpunk, there's a story today that someone is suggesting that Cyberpunk should have been delayed a fourth time. And they were like, yeah, but the first couple times it was delayed, and then the last time the actual developer was getting death threats because they delayed the fucking game. I mean, that's a different thing. I don't agree with you that it's justice for winning. I think who needs to win is based on the quality of the title. Spoiling the game with leaks, harassing devs and actors, same person with the crazy name, lying about studio conditions, review bombing, tampering with polls won't win. Should I go on? I don't understand. You should go on, but you should articulate it better. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Where's the Crunch outrage for CD Projekt Red? Are you kidding? It's everywhere. There are literally stories about it. There's a story, like I just said, there's a story today suggesting that this game, why another Cyberpunk 2077 delay may have been necessary. And the comments are, this is on Game Revolution, the comments are, that's a bad idea because the team was getting death threats the first time. Now Dasme changes their tune here. Yep, they deserve it because the game is amazing. Okay, that's different. You're a moron, motherfucker. Listen to this, motherfucker. Listen to this. Comes up into my chat, never been here before, and acts like he knows me. Motherfucker, you don't know shit. Here's what he says. Yep, they deserve it because the game is amazing, or else they wouldn't have 25 awards. Let me guess, you're going to say it was rigged. No, I don't think it was rigged, you fucking moron. Why in the world would it be rigged? If you would like to know what I think about it, I'll tell you in a minute because it ties into the VentureBeat article that Dean wrote about it today. No, it wasn't rigged. I don't think it was rigged at all, but I don't think it has anything to do with them winning because they got death threats. If it did, that's a shitty award show. The massive games don't get made by people working 9 to 5, says Eddie T. Why is it suddenly such a massive problem when it's going on since video games existed? It's not a real problem. It's a problem. It's a story. It's a click. It's anger. It's this is bad. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of this shit. You don't get a say if you play these games. If you give them the fucking money and you play these fucking games, then shut the fuck up. I'm with you 100%. Crunch sucks, says Vitali, but it's everywhere. Of course it's everywhere. Goodness gracious. Can we admit, says Raven, that the problem is when the fans when it came for the pressure for CD Projekt Red? Well, okay, so this was interesting. What this story was saying is that the writing was on the wall for Cyberpunk to ship with all the bugs and problems that it has when at the height of The Witcher 3's success, and this was before the series, so the height of the game success mostly, although the game has been more successful since the series, but that time period, they said, let's go public. And in Warsaw, or they're on the Warsaw Stock Exchange or whatever it's called, and now suddenly they're not just answering to gamers, they're answering to people who own part of the company. And that clearly has bit them in the ass because, look, I didn't love Cyberpunk. It was fine. I'm done with it. I played it. I didn't have any real bugs. I played it on Stadia. It was a great experience. But even if you love Cyberpunk, and there are a lot of people who love Cyberpunk, and I can respect that, no one can defend it as not being a buggy mess. I saw an article today that says, in fact, it might be on this front page. It basically says the bugs. Oh, here it is. Cyberpunk 2077 is unplayable on PS4, but I still love it. This guy's basically saying, I can't stop playing it. I adore it. But yeah, it's buggy as fuck. Okay. So, I mean, end of the day, this is a game that didn't need to come out yet. And, it came out for that exact reason. I unintentionally called it when I showed concern for my aging PS4 as a joke. Now look at us, says Mutant Mo. Yeah, did you buy it? You bought it, it's not running? Medi says Part 2 is a masterpiece, but Game Movie Awards are stupid. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to try to convince people that it is or isn't a masterpiece. I haven't played it because let me even ask you guys. So let me go to Dean's article real quick. Because this will give you some context for where I'm coming from on this. This is Dean Takahashi. I've interviewed with him before. He's a good guy. A lot of people make fun of his game playing skills, but he plays a lot of games. He is a gamer. Blah blah blah. So the guy's got some gamer street cred, and he's not a great gamer, but no my. The Last of Us Part 2 swept many of the honors, he says, surprising no one. I love the game. I love that both critics and fans felt the same way. This is Dean talking, not me. Their 7 awards show that the studios that make the biggest bets and most ambitious games can be rewarded with the highest honors and riches. The game was so polished, I didn't see any flaws when I played through it several times. And he goes on to gush about it. The game made me stop and think about violence, revenge, and assumptions that I make about the good people and bad people. It raises the art form to another level with drama, acting, and writing that beats just about any art form in any medium. This is where I take issue. This is where I think the kind of hyperbolic bullshit that we get from gamers and now media, although the media's been doing it for years too, when they compared Grand Theft Auto 4, I think it was, to Shakespeare. I mean, this is where it gets damaging. Because there's a direct line. I'm not a developer right now, but when I was a developer, we were voracious for this shit. We just gobbled it up and ingested it through every fucking open orifice we could find. Right? It was validation. This is bad for the industry. This kind of talk is bad for the industry unless you can tell me. Like, I'm not saying you didn't love Last of Us Part 2. I'm not saying you didn't love Death Stranding. All those things, great, wonderful, I'm glad you did. But usually when I talk to people, they say, well, Jaffe, why didn't you play Last of Us Part 2? I'm like, well, I heard, like with Red Dead Redemption 2, which I also didn't play for the same reason, there's a lot of these sections where nothing happens and it's very slow and ponderous and you're just kind of walking, right? Okay, you can't argue that. We know that's in there. And when I talk to people about that, not all of them, but the vast majority of them say, you got to deal with that to get to the good stuff. Very few of them say, oh yeah, but I love that. I absolutely love that part. Most people kind of talk about it more like, oh yeah, that's fucking, it's slow, but once the game really gets good, about 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours in, everything's great, right? That's my problem with it. It's like if you're Dean Takahashi, if you're the Game Awards, if you genuinely believe, Dean Takahashi, what you're writing in the world of Game of Thrones, Queen's Gambit, Avengers Endgame, The Crown, Succession, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, if you genuinely believe, Dean, that the game elevates the art form with content that's beats any other art form, then I respect that. But I think you're a goddamn liar. I think you're a goddamn liar, sir. I think you're trading in hyperbole. And I don't know if it's the same reason for Kotaku or the same reason for Keeley, because it's good for fucking business. But you can't fucking tell me, people in the chat, that this is as good as the best TV, as the best movies, as the best books. Come the fuck on. And you can't tell me that the vast majority of you who love the game, which I respect, and I think that's great you love the game, and I get that it's a great game. You can't tell me that the vast majority of you guys love all of the slow, ponderous stuff. I don't mean the slow build. That's fine. I mean the walking and the riding of your horse at the beginning of Red Dead for like 45 minutes while people go, well, the whole West is changing, Amos. You think it's really changing? Come on. Horse shit. Horse shit. You know that's bullshit. I think The Last of Us and Red Dead actually are as good. Really? Do you watch a lot of TV, Muppet Joe? Do you watch a lot of movies? That's hard to believe. But if you believe it, I respect that. I don't believe it, but I respect it if you believe it, if it's true. Red Dead says Raven was a drag. Yeah. Bobby's 100% correct. Bobby Burns says the walking around wasn't that obtrusive. Which game we talking about, Bobby? It gave time to relax since the game was intense. Also a great time to load up on materials and ammo. I don't mean you as a character walking around. What you wrote there is fine. It gave you time to load up on materials and ammo. I'm talking about pushing the stick forward, walking with another character, and you're basically in a push stick forward to make the cutscene progress. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying games shouldn't have points where the pacing comes down. I think that's important, necessary, wonderful. JJ David says, I love it. Learning to become a writer has made me appreciate storytelling so much more. Yeah, but that's ridiculous, though. For you, that's great if you want to be a writer, but for the average consumer, they don't want to put up with all that shit. First playthrough, I have no issues with the walk and talk, says Popcon. Going for platinum is not fun. I feel like both those franchises let you connect with the characters in ways other mediums can't. Muppet Joe, explain to me how you can connect with characters in a video game the way other mediums can't. I would be curious. I would love a specific example. And it can't be, oh, well, you just spend more time with them. I mean, that's ridiculous. Also, it's ridiculous because I can cite, television seasons that have run for 7, 8, 9 seasons where you spend more time with them than a game character. Icarus says Cyberpunk didn't need delaying, in my opinion. It just either should have focused more on last gen or not bothered with the last gen version. Well, it needed delaying based on the decisions that they made, Icarus, for what the game would be defined as in terms of what platforms it would run on. But yeah, you're right. If they said, no, it's only going to be PS5, PC, whatever, yeah, of course, you're absolutely right. But that's not really the definition of what they call Cyberpunk. Games medium far surpasses a lot of crap on TV and movies. Okay, that's a blanket statement that means absolutely nothing. I mean, sure, you're right. Do I think Bobby Burns that the game medium, a lot of games surpass storytelling on a shitty Disney Channel show? Yeah, of course. But I'm talking about Dean's comment that says it raises the art form to another level with drama, acting, and writing that beats just about any art form in any medium. He means music. He means painting. He means literature. He means stagecraft. Or stage plays. He means books, television, and movies. Really, Dean? Really? This is telling. This is where I think a lot of this comes from. I'm just gonna be fucking honest with you. I'm gonna tell you. This is where it comes from. His next sentence is loaded with the truth. This is the kind of game that elevates the opinion of games in the world as deserving the attention of adults and the best of us. Why would you even write that? If you genuinely love games, it shouldn't enter your fucking mind what adults think about them. That's the problem with this, is I think a lot of this is ego on the part of the people who get paid to write about games and celebrate games and the people who pay to play games. There is just like the game industry has Hollywood envy, I think gamers and people who love games, there is still a little nugget of shame built into and baked into the cake of being a fan. And it's a continual attempt to make people go, no, look, what I like is cool too. What I like isn't to be mocked. That's what I think. That's what I fucking think. Art has been evolving, says JJ, since the oral poets in ancient Greece. Yes, video games are evolving art. Nobody's denying that. Totally agree with you, JJ. I don't agree with that either, Nando. Nando says the primary function of a video game is to have fun, period. Do not agree with that at all. Do not agree with that at all. This is why, people confuse me a bit. They think, first off, I'm some kind of right-wing guy because the games I make, which is absolutely not true. Super progressive. They also assume that I think all games need to be bang, bang, shoot, shoot, fun, fun all the time. Some of my favorite games are, Firewatch and Gone Home, and September 12th is a Flash game I always talk about because it's one of the most evocative, emotional, intellectual games, and it's a fucking Flash game about what happens when you start bombing civilians in a war-torn country, and you end up with more terrorists that you have to fight, to the point that it within 2 minutes of pure gameplay. You don't need dialogue, you don't need cutscenes, you don't need anything. You, through a simulation, which is through interactivity, which is the heartbeat of the medium, not cutscenes, not motion capture, not voice actors, but the actual interactivity. You can get all that other stuff better in a movie, in a TV show, in a book. Through the sheer brilliance of using interactivity in a way that allows you to experience the simulation of what that is like to deal with the need to go to war, in your mind, the need to go to war, in quotes, while at the same time the war itself perpetually creating future needs to go to war. That's art. That is gameplay through art. This shit that we're talking about, I'm not saying The Last of Us Part 2 writing is shit. I'm not saying the performance is shit. I'm saying bolting all this stuff from other mediums on top of this medium and then celebrating it in such a way, in such a big way, is, it's the media version of religion. It gets in the way of evolution. It gets in the way of the interactive medium actually growing as it can and should, because you've got so much, adulation that really comes from a place of ego and comes from a place of insecurity on the parts of people who were showering this shit with the adulation. Okay, I'm going to go pure to the chat, and then we're going to change the subject. It's not as good as Crime and Punishment, says Mehdi, but none of those can make you feel how Last of Us 2 makes you feel. Part 2 was a new experience. They used gaming medium in a genius way. Tell me how. I will look for you in the chat, Mehdi. Give me one example of how Last of Us Part 2 used the gaming medium in a genius way. Danny Hobo says, boy, is that really the last name? If it is, that's both incredibly cool and incredibly disappointing, but it's an amazing last name. You know what a hobo nickel is? We'll talk about that later. It's fascinating. I'm usually an FPS fan, says Danny Hobo, but I bought into the hype of Cyberpunk. I never completed GTA 5 solo and went straight to multiplayer. So for 2 days, I like the CP story. That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, Bacon Magma's just not listening. He says, I love the slow-paced stuff. If I want nonstop action, I'll play Call of Duty. I'm not talking... Can somebody give Bacon Magma maybe a pacifier and an inner tube and put him in the corner? Nobody says I'm calling for fast action gameplay. I'm talking for engagement. I'm talking for mental engagement. I don't have to come through fucking shooting shit up. Bacon Magma, listen to what you're fucking being told. God damn. Before I played Last of Us, says Scott Shooter. Now that's a good name. That sounds like an action movie. Hobo and Shooter. Hobo and Shooter are back this fall on ABC. What's going to happen when Hobo's ex-wife comes into the picture and now she's a fucking smoking fox? Is Shooter going to end up fucking her again behind the shed? Or is Hobo this time going to have something to say about her? Because truth be told, he still loves her. Wink. That's coming this fall on ABC. Shooter says, before I played Last of Us 2, I thought the standard of writing and acting in games was nowhere near films and TV. Last of Us 2 changed my mind. Yeah, that's great. You're talking about the cutscenes. You're talking about the dialogue. That's wonderful. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, that shit's obtrusive as fuck. Right? Put that in TV. Use the medium of interactivity. Celebrate that. Use the medium of interactivity to express your story, to express your vision, to express your view of the world. That's a goddamn good game director. Not somebody who, I'm not saying Neil's not a good game director, but I'm talking in general, kind of the assumption of what a good game director is. Not somebody who basically goes, I see that in a movie. I see that on TV. I see that in a book. I'm going to just take that and put it in my game. And then I'm going to stand on the shoulders of giants without doing any of the work that they did. You think when Coppola did Apocalypse Now, you think when Spielberg did Munich or the fucking Schindler's List, they weren't sitting there and thinking about how can I express my vision using the medium of interactivity, of film, of cinema, the cuts, the dissolves, the audio. How do I use all of that in order to tell the story filmically? It's why a book is never the same as a movie when a movie gets adapted from a book, because each medium has their own tools to express the quality of the story. A good game director, a great game director, and there are very few of them, are able to take the medium they're working in and say, I have this story about revenge and how people aren't the same and this and that and the other. And that shit is not a cutscene. That shit is not Ellie sitting on a bed saying, I'm going to kill every last one of them. That shit is not movies. It's done through interactivity. It's very hard. We barely have a language for it, and we're pointing all of our guns in the wrong fucking direction, and we're missing out on what the medium has to offer. That's the goddamn truth. It's the goddamn truth. The Last of Us 2, says Bacon, is the most completed story on PS over 50% range. Seems like your opinion on The Last of Us is wrong. No, it's not, Bacon Magman. You're a fucking moron. What in the fuck does that have to do with anything? I'm not saying it's not a good game. I'm not saying people don't like it. I'm not saying it's a trash game. I have never said that. I've always done nothing but express the utmost respect for Naughty Dog as a developer and for the games that they make. I don't like them, but I understand millions upon millions upon millions of people do. And I think that's great. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the medium itself. Dom says, you literally put yourself in the shoes of someone you hate and eventually you grow to care about her. It's incredible and the gameplay is the best part. Dom, though, give me an example of how do they make you care about Abby? When you hate Abby at the beginning, and then you care about her at the end, what made you care about her? Chongo, let's be clear. Chongo says, I hear you, but if people genuinely enjoy the intrusive stuff as a hybrid, why not let that exist as a type of game? I guess just because you give weight as game of the year. Well, again, I'm not, I don't, this is kind of like arguing religion. I'm not looking to pull Naughty Dog's ability to make games away. I'm sitting here saying that Naughty Dog should crunch if they want to crunch. I don't have any, I'm the guy who gets shit on by a lot of gamers because I want services that like streaming and sub services that make all kinds of games more accessible to people. I don't have a problem with what Naughty Dog's doing. We're talking at a philosophical game design level. There's no doubt they bring people a lot of happiness. No one's wrong for liking their shit. I think once you get into sort of the kind of crazy language that Dean is using here, saying it raises the art form to another level that beats just about any art form in any medium, then you just start to get, that's like sort of reckless to write such obvious horse shit. But that aside, though, no, I'm not opposed to people enjoying it, but we're talking about it. Chongo says, why even bring the stuff up when you should just stay focused on the products and directors that make what you want? Because the show is about games. Last night was what Keeley calls, and he's not entirely right, but he's not entirely wrong, the biggest night of the year for games. That would be like going to a show where they talk about politics and there was an election the night before and they don't talk about it. The people come here, I assume, to hang out and talk and express themselves about what's happening in the art form that we all love. I mean, yes, if you only want me to just talk about things I agree with, it's going to be really fucking boring. Playing as Abby, spending half the game as her, controlling her actions means more than if it were a movie. It's a different kind of empathy. That's how it was successful. Okay, well, I don't know if I really agree with you, but I agree that you experience that, and I can appreciate that. J-Man says, just goes to show games don't have to innovate to win Game of the Year anymore. Joey says, I played through Death Stranding and I loved it. Go figure. No, a lot of people did. There's not, again, people get confused. People get confused. Who was I talking to? It was a guy on our Discord. I'm not gonna call him out. I'm not going to call him out, not because it's embarrassing. I just don't know. He didn't really give me permission to bring it up, but I'll give you the gist of it. He was basically saying to me that, arguing in debate and stuff really makes him uncomfortable. And we may have talked about this before, but I think a lot of it, I talked to Colin Moriarty about this when I was on his Fireside Chats a while back. He's Italian, raised in that environment. According to him, Italians are very verbose and argumentative, and they debate and they shout, and that is an expression of love. That is an expression of togetherness and community and enjoyment. Even though I'm not Jewish, I was raised Jewish. The Jewish religion does put a lot of stock in questioning the religion and asking questions as deep as you want to go down that rabbit hole of what is God, why are we here, on and on and on. And that tradition carried into my family and my circle of friends. And I just love discussing stuff. And look, my mind is open, by the way, to having my mind changed. I would absolutely love. In fact, I've offered like it's a gift to you, but I've suggested I'll play Last of Us 2 on the stream before, because maybe what you guys are saying is absolutely right. My mind will be open when I play it, and every time I say it, people say, Jaffe, don't fucking play that game. You will fucking hate it. You will fucking hate it. I will admit, says Bacon, I thought The Last of Us 2 had too much stuff in it, one game. Like how Batman v Superman had too much going on in the movie. I hear you. Just like they complain about Last of Us 2, they wanted the same old Joel and Ellie story again, says Dom. Oh, you're saying people complain about things being the same, and when they get something different, they bitch about it. I understand. Laura says, Last of Us is outstanding on technical terms. No doubt. Naughty Dog is probably the very best in the business. I thought the story in Death Stranding was sick. Kojima needs to transfer to cinema. I don't disagree with that either. I don't disagree. Eddie says, Eddie says you're going to laugh at the poor writing if you play it. Isn't that fascinating? People are telling me, I got Dean telling me it's better than any other art. Jaffe will end up loving it because the game will play his empathy. Kaiden, I'm fine with that, man. I am fine with that. I have zero problem if that game pulls on my goddamn heartstrings. That will be fantastic. We were we were watching, I've told you guys, we were watching Queen's Gambit this week. Me and the ex and the kids were watching it, or at least one of the kids, Calvin, and we loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. I tear up. I get emotional about all kinds of media. So absolutely, man. If Neil Druckmann's, magnum opus, as they say, gets to me, fucking fantastic. Fucking fantastic. I will download it right after this stream, and I will start streaming it this weekend. I'll do a weekend stream just for a few hours tomorrow or Sunday, and let's see what it's like. See what it's fucking like. No, I'm not going to skip any of the cutscenes, Dom. I should not skip the cutscenes, right? Crank says, Jaffe, out of curiosity, you say you were raised Jewish, but you're not. Your parents were, but you decided not to practice. Well, my mom was a Southern Baptist Christian, and she converted to Judaism to marry my dad. My dad was raised Jewish. We were raised Jewish, like we celebrated Hanukkah. We went to temple for the major holidays. But I was never, my dad let me bring Archie and Richie Rich little digest comics and put them in I don't know what you call them, the prayer books, because I was bored out of my fucking mind, and nobody would answer my questions like, how do you know God's real? Why does he let this happen? All that shit. So by the time I was 7, I was like, I'm done. The Crown is solid. My brother tells me The Crown is worth watching. I should give it a shot. I don't really like the Royals, but there you go. Vitality says Last of Us 2 had issues with narrative structure, not with the narrative itself. It's actually really good. Cool, I'll give it a play. Can I make a Locky? Okay. Not so great. You'd love to see my take on Bloodborne. Look, I've played Bloodborne. I loved the lore. I loved the graphics. I loved the world. It was too fucking hard for me. But now that I love Demon Souls, maybe if they remaster Bloodborne, which a lot of people thought was going to happen last night on the Game Awards, an announcement, with the SSD, I'll be able to put up with it. Chongo says, I was expecting the Abby playthrough to suck so hard that I would see right through cheese and never care, but it surprised me. Excellent. I will give it a play. And I do like story games, by the way. I love story games. That's the funny part. JJ David says, don't play story games, Jaffe. I adore story games. My favorite games, What Remains of Edith Finch, Firewatch, Gone Home, Eco. I'm loving Ghost of Tsushima. I love strong IP. I love great characters in games. One of the great things about games that I will say, and it's not hyperbole, that elevates it, is right now, it used to be all of them, but now the mainstream games are getting too expensive. But our medium level games and our indie games are far and away more creative than what they get to do in TV and movies. A lot of that's just because of the cost. But I think a strong IP is brilliant. The question becomes, how do you express that story, right? Firewatch has no cutscenes. Edith Finch has no cutscenes. Gone Home has no cutscenes. They drop me in the shoes of those characters and they say, go live their life for a couple of hours. And that's where the story comes from. That's using the medium brilliantly. Anyway, let's move on. I'm not gonna fucking sell you guys, but I will play because again, I am not here to, I'm not staking a claim like I have to be right. Wouldn't it be something in a great way if Last of Us 2 is the first game that absolutely convinces me that you guys are right. I loved Ghost. Ghost is my game of the year. Or it's right now for me, it's between Ghost of Tsushima, Demon Souls, and Ultra Kill. I can't decide. Okay. Okay, now we're backtracking in the chat. Now we're saying, okay, but you're going to play it now. If now you're going to have evidence, I got to tell you some things that it doesn't do. Let me play the fucking thing. Crash 4 Waves is brilliant. Game of the year, I don't know, but it's a great fucking game. Teardown's on the list. You'll see my list soon. Teardown's brilliant. JJ says, I think you need a good gameplay loop right up front to hook you. Of course you do, because it's interactivity. It's games. It doesn't mean they have to be fun, but it has to be interactive. Eon says, I just want to remind you what you said a year ago on that video of Corey's God of War compared to yours is truly inspirational that you said halfway through the video regarding society's belief. I don't remember what I said. Can you refresh my memory? Nando says, Jaffe, can you please give me one reason why Gone Home is not a lousy, mediocre graduation product? Well, so Gone Home had the benefit of being one of the first walking sims, right? So let's assume at the moment, I think Edith Finch surpasses it by leaps and bounds. Firewatch surpasses it by leaps and bounds. But when it came out, it was a game where the very nature of the level design and the art design and the set decoration and the things that you could find in that game told you a story that was a really good story. It was a wonderful story in that it totally made you think it was going one place and it went totally somewhere else. And the way they expressed the story in the game, finding the Super Nintendo tapes, getting hints that there maybe had been a problem in the marriage of the parents, instead of doing a cutscene and motion capture, performance capture, and hiring voice actors and all that, it was all done through set design and set decorating. And the reason that matters, I'm not applauding it because isn't that hard? No, because that's how life works. Life is experiential. Games are experiential. They're not movies. We have movies. It's a totally separate place your brain goes. But when you're playing a game, you want to be in that world. And something like Gone Home, Firewatch, Edith Finch, it says, look, you get to live in this world. We're going to leave you alone now. We've expressed ourselves through what happens in this world, but we're not going to pull the camera from you. We're not going to use a bunch of techniques that are great for linear medium, but not great for interactive medium. And you get to live in that space. And in that, to me, that is when the medium is incredibly powerful. He's going to hate Last of Us 2, says Joey. If he doesn't, I'll be shocked. It's overrated, says Joey. It's a solid 6 or 7 at best. Wilson says games are systems and they are best at that. I agree. That's why a game like Last of Us is not the best use of the medium. I agree. With that said, it can be good and enjoyable and no problem with that. I agree with that too. I agree with that 100%. I'm not saying people should get rid of these fucking games. Rob says, was Tell Me Why good? That's another thing. He goes on to mention Tell Me Why. We played Tell Me Why a little bit on the stream. So Tell Me Why is, I think, one of the first games. It's not the first. As far as I know, Annapurna made maybe one of the first, but it's a game where you play a trans male. I think he's a teenager. And I think in a lot of ways, Tell Me Why is probably like Love, Simon. If you don't know what Love, Simon was kind of like the first kind of mainstream teen comedy rom-com where it starred a gay character. And it was, it wasn't indie, it wasn't underground. It was almost made for straight people that lived in places where they didn't know gay people. Well, they knew gay people, but they know gay people. And to feel more comfortable around the gay folk, right? That's pretty much, I don't know if that was the intent behind it, but that was how it was. And it was good. It was a good movie. I think Tell Me Why is kind of like that. Tell Me Why is the game you point to and you say, see, I'm progressive. I don't have a problem with the LGBT community because I like Tell Me Why. And that's me playing a trans character. I'm not saying that's wrong. I didn't think, from what I played, which wasn't a lot, but it was enough, I didn't think it was a great game. I think that studio has made much better games. Tell Me Why was just kind of dull. There's a game that Annapurna put out this year called If Found, where you play a trans character. You don't even know it's a trans character until halfway through. And that game, even though it's incredibly simple in its play mechanics, is interesting, evocative, emotional. It has one of the most powerful scenes of the year where you're in a nightclub and you're listening to a band that I think it's the guy that you like is playing in the band on the stage. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. But that's what I mean. It's like it's so easy it's like when people say, Jaffe, why don't you just talk about what you like? Because it's like going up against it's David versus Goliath. You're going up against this media that is telling people what works and what's good and how progressive we are. When I'm like, no, that's not right. That's progressive. That's interesting gameplay. That's why. Anyway, all right, there you go. Jaffe, what's your opinion on the rapidly depleting supply of cool names for video games? I think we are a creative enough industry that I think we will we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Let's move on. Hang on. Let's talk about sales. Colin Moriarty posted this. I have not been able to find anything. I don't want to say to back this up because I totally trust Colin. I know he's got his sources, whether they're private sources or he had a news story that I just can't find. So I totally believe this, but but I can't find a story to show you is what I'm saying. But he basically says the PlayStation 5 apparently had the best launch month of any console in American history. That we know is true. Sony put that out. But then he says this, an Xbox Series XS sold worse in its first month than Xbox One. Now, we know in Japan that's the case. In Japan, both PS5 and Xbox, the new one, sold less than predecessors. But I don't think Colin is talking about Japan, because if he was, he would have mentioned Japan. He's probably talking about America. I was curious about this, and it got me thinking about how sales are going, and a lot of the sales figures have come out. None of this, the NPD came out. Most of the sales figures that I've seen are talking about the Switch and PlayStation, like you see here, split the victory. Everything is sold out. The Switch made more money in hardware because they sold the PlayStation 5 made more money, but the Switch sold more units, and that because the Switch is cheaper, and it's probably it's easier to get, even though it's not easy to get, it's easier to get than the PS5. I did not see anything about acquiring the Xbox and judging the quality of the Xbox's sales based on previous Xbox sales. All I know is the Xbox, even in Japan, where a lot of people look at the numbers, including me, and go, wow, that's doing terrible. We've got people from Japan on the stream, and they're saying, we can't find the Xboxes. We can't find the PlayStations. These shit's hard to get. So it's really, I said this a couple of months ago. I don't think I'm not suggesting that, that PS5 is not going to trounce Xbox, at least in early days. I'm still a very big believer that Game Pass is going to turn the tides for Xbox. Different conversation, though. But I think right now, most of the stories about what's selling when it comes to PS and Xbox has nothing to do with anything other than supply chain. Because it's not like you can go into Walmart and find 3 Xbox Series S's and no PS5s. You can't find any of it. So the Xbox, Eddie, can you send me a link? Because that's what I was just talking about. And Colin mentioned it, but I can't find evidence of that. I don't need evidence because I trust Colin, but I would like to read the article. Eddie says the Xbox Series X had a worse launch than the Xbox One. Right. That's right here, what Colin Moriarty tweeted today. And I'm just like, oh, where's that at? I want to see that. I want to see that story. So that's what Novodamus says, 23 or 24 months of Switch leading monthly console sales. Well, no. Not in money, no. In money, PlayStation walloped the crap out of Switch this year, this month. Wilson, I would love to give you people permission to post links. I don't know how. What should I Google, Wilson, if you want me to find it? There's also, let's talk about this. This is pretty interesting. NPD releases the best-selling games of the year. This is Black Friday. This will tell you what sold in Thanksgiving. I'm not going to go through all of them. If you're curious, I'll put a link up right now in the chat if you want to go through that. No, I know. Switch sold more units because it was readily available, and PlayStation made more money because it wasn't as available, but it cost a lot more. But I don't agree with you, Brian. Xbox is going to get absolutely mashed. I absolutely don't agree, but we will see. Good night, Laura Luna. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you as well. Right, Bukaki says, like the fucking stream or Jaffe will fade into oblivion. You goddamn right, you fucking morons. Hit that like button. Make sweet love to that like button. I'll wait. You guys, last 8 minutes? Tops? I'll wait. Check the stream topic, says Sweetness. All right, let me check them real quick. And then we're going to look. But anyway, here's the link to Venture Beats. This gives you all the data. Top 20, this was November. So it'll tell you what people were going into... it'll tell you what people were going into the holidays with. Aunt Wango, I'm starting to hate you. I'm starting to see your terrible, obnoxious, inflammatory post over on YouTube. And I want to give you a bit of a hint, buddy. I have no problem, as you can probably tell, with people having a different opinion than me. I have no problem with people challenging me, pushing back, debating me. In fact, I quite like it. I think it makes for a good show. But you're treading into that ground over on the YouTube comments where you're kind of a dick. And if that continues, I would be more than happy to ban you from this stream and my YouTube channel as well. But I don't want to. But that's kind of where we're going, buddy. Just going to give you a heads up, pal. Okay. Okay, what am I looking at today? Which one do you want me to look at? Sweetness. Oh, here we go. Sweetness has got some. Let's bring this up. Mark Alpert, thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate that very much. Let's bring this up. This is from Sweetness Gaming. He says the global estimated hardware of November. The Switch did 1.6, the PS5 did 4, the Xbox did 175. Okay, so oh, here we go. Right, with the different territories. Right. PS5. Here we go. Okay, good. Well, great. I mean, is this meant to be reflective of something that we were asking? But I mean, yeah. I mean, I assume this is sort of what NPD is talking about. But what we don't have here, though, is the Xbox One launch week. We have Xbox One, but we don't. What they're saying is the Xbox Series S and X didn't sell as much in their first week or first month as the Xbox One X did, is basically, if that makes sense. Hello, Yusuf. Good to see you. Nameless Ghoul says, I like walking my dog while listening to the Jaffe stream. I appreciate that, Nameless Ghoul. I hope you're out having a nice walk with your pup, baby. Dave Rock, we are going to be playing Little Nightmares 2 demo as soon as the stream wraps up. We're not even taking a break. We're just going to roll right into it. I read that in terms of revenue, Sony made 10 times more than Microsoft. Well, yeah, all we know is that they clearly made more money than Nintendo over the holidays, or at least the November holiday. But Nintendo sold more units, right? Yes, Pirate King, your comments are totally showing up. Hi, Jaffe, says Angel. I hope you're well. I am. I hope you're well, too. I wanted to say I'm so glad I found your channel. Well, I'm glad you found it, too, pal. As a student on game design, your streams have made me see the industry with a new pair of eyes. I love your honesty. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Angel. And good luck on your journey to make games, man. You're growing up, or you're coming up in a time where, I mean, it's not like, I mean, anyone, I don't mean anyone can do it like it's easy, but the resources are so incredibly available now that anyone can jump into the Core engine or Unity or Unreal or Dreams and actually start expressing themselves, and that's fucking great. So welcome, and I'm glad you're here, and good luck, and keep us abreast of your growth in that business. So Brian King says for every 2 units of PS5, you can get 5 units of Switch for the same amount. Okay. Okay, so someone shared on Twitter, Series X had a worse launch than the One. Who is Huge X? Do I just type in Huge X? Put another link. I will afterwards. I will after us. Good, Sean. I'm very glad, sir. I'm very glad. All right. Let's go back to the sales charts real quick, though. Let's take a look at this fucking thing. So anyway, Call of Duty at the top, Assassin's Creed, no surprise. It was interesting and nice to see 2 games in the top 10 in America for PS5, Demon's Souls and Spider-Man. In Japan, the first month, you had to go into the bottom 30. Like number 30 was Miles Morales, I think, and number 20 was Demon's Souls. So, I mean, that's Switch country over there. What I like about this chart, though, is it starts getting into the year. The best-selling games of 2020 so far, and then it goes to the best-selling games of the last 12 months, which is kind of more telling. I'm going to tell you something. I admit when I am wrong. I admit when I make a mistake. I don't have a problem making a mistake. That's how we learn. America especially is so fucked up when it comes to never wanting to make a mistake. It's like, dude, that's how you get better. But anyway, the point of it is this. I predicted Avengers was going to be the biggest game of the year. Not because I thought it was anywhere near the best game of the year, but because I thought it respected the brand in such a way that it was going to have people absolutely go apeshit over wanting to play those characters. It's one of the biggest brands in the world. Well, here we are, best-selling game so far in 2020. It barely hangs on to the top 10. If you go to the best-selling games of the last 12 months, it is absolutely nowhere to be found. I am very happy to see Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite games of the year, is on there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still selling like a goddamn bandit. Final Fantasy 7 still selling is pretty goddamn great because that's number 8 just for the last for 2020 in the last 12 months. Jaffe, there's whispers that there will be Ultimate Mortal Kombat tournament. There are no whispers, baby. It's a scream. Can you put your 2 cents in on how this tournament should be played? Yes, we'll do it on Discord. I would love some advice and some tips on how to run a better tournament. My brother-in-law that I gave my extra PS5 for retail just sold it, so I'm pissed. I don't blame you, Dom. Okay, so I'm supposed to look at Daniel Ahmad's page. I'm going to go there real quick. Let's go there. Let me get off in case it's porn. Oh, Z Huge X. Okay. Oh, this guy. Right. Okay, I'm on his page. I'm looking for it. Yeah, the Stadia version of Cyberpunk, by the way, is really great. How far down do I have to scroll? And he might be talking about, because he covers Asia. He might be talking about Japan, but maybe I'm wrong. Hello, Tony Barnes. Good to see you. We're just going over sales. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is France. Okay, no, we're looking for America. We're going over sales. People are saying that the Xbox were followed by Sorrento Cleaners. This stream is sponsored by Sorrento Cleaners. Have you spilled some wine on your favorite dress? Have you ripped the shoulder pads off your 1970s style tuxedo? Not a problem. Sorrento Cleaners will come to your house, pick up your garment, take it, clean it. Best in the business. I've had my my jock straps cleaned by Sorrento Cleaners by hand probably for the last 34 years. They are geniuses and they are kind. They'll bring it back to you. In every garment they bring back to you comes with a lollipop for the kids. Sorrento Cleaners, that's over on Old Town Road, 6434 Old Town Road. Tell them Papa Jaffe sent you. You get 5% off, and you'll get a pat on your ass on the way out the door. So we're talking, Tony Barnes, about the Xbox Series XS selling less on their first month than the Xbox One, but I can't find that data. Cyberpunk 2077 is off to a great start in China. That's good to see. I think you have to actually submit your character creation to President Xi or Z, whatever the fuck his name is, President Winnie the Pooh, before you can play to make sure, the China government approves it. But that said, that's good news. Anyway, let's assume the facts are right. Let's assume the facts are right. Let's assume that, yes, Xbox Series X is done worse. But again, that really means nothing, right? Because if you were to say, and again, I'm not trying to sell you on Xbox. I don't have one. I had an opportunity to buy one. I passed on it. I'm going to buy it later. I love Game Pass. But if you were to say that you can readily get Xboxes, Series X and S, then I would go, holy shit, they're in trouble. And they may be in trouble. But them selling less than Xbox One X, my guess is if you looked at the supply chain or the channel of how many One X's came out versus how many S and X's came out, the issue is they're supply constrained. The issue is not, you can't really write their obituary or the win column yet for these companies because no one can find these things. Wired Game Company says Portal secretive about sales and budget numbers. Xbox and PlayStation still won't reveal numbers. Well, they're public companies, and part of it is they either, so those are weapons in the war of finance, right? If you've got bad news, you want to try to find a way to pack it into good news. You want to sandwich it and say, yeah, this game was a failure. Yeah, we lost our shirt on this game, but remember those games that sold brilliantly 6 months later? Remember we sold this division, whatever. So you need to be able to couch bad news, and you want to trumpet good news in a way that will get more people interested in investing in your company. So it's a lot of it is that. A lot of it is that these are tools they use to make money, and they don't want to give them out willy-nilly. Johnny says, nope, they're screwed. PS4 will overlap them in a week or two. They have two different consoles out. This is worse than the X1. Again, Johnny, I'm not defending Xbox. I don't really, I care. I want everyone to do well in that industry. And I have a lot of faith in what they're doing at a vision standpoint. But, unless you have some insight that we don't have, and it doesn't sound like you're citing it, all you're really talking about is, people can't find the Xbox. If I can go into a store and buy it, great. Then you have a good point. It's like, shit, man, you can get these everywhere. No one's buying them. But I can't go into Amazon and find an Xbox Series S or X right now, or Walmart or Best Buy or Target. And I'm pretty sure you can't either. I want Microsoft to do well, says Eddie, so there's competition. I want Microsoft to do well because, they're fucking, great at their future plans. Okay, here we go. This is from CNBC by way of sweetness. Cott sent me something today. I can't read it on today's chat, but we will talk about it. Mother arrested children calling transgender woman man. It's a totally different subject, but I'll give it a read. Okay, let's look at this, though, briefly. Then we're going to move on to a new topic. Xbox One versus PS4. Wait, this is from 2013, dude. You're talking about first week sales. Okay. I don't understand. You're trying to compare, but we don't have the numbers though of how many they shipped into the channel of Series X and X. So whatever they tell us here, right? We don't really. Maybe I'm missing something. My best friend, my best man at my wedding says Jojo D has a small shop that sells games, DVDs, and consoles. He states he can get me a PS5 by March, and this generation of consoles was the worst in terms of sales. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, look, end of the day, we're a bunch of hardcore gamers. We're fucking talking on a Friday evening about video games, right? My kids game, their friends game. They're not thinking about consoles. They're playing on their phones. They're playing on their iPads. They're playing on their computers they use for schoolwork. That's it totally makes sense that that they're selling, but they're not selling as well because the whole generation's not coming up. You were asking for the numbers. The article has the first week sale of the Xbox One. Yeah, no, I appreciate that sweetness, but until we get the numbers for the Xbox Series X, we can't compare them. Tony says this subject is hard to grasp when you don't understand the entire channel and you cherry pick info to suit your tribe. Yes, and again, Tony would know. Tony's been making games. I'm sorry, it's not 25 years. Tony's been making games for 35 years. He certainly has. Did you play the new Strider? That was Tony. Did you play Killer Instinct? I have not played the new Killer Instinct. I need to. I want to. That was Tony. Have you gone toe-to-toe with one of the worst, most obnoxious producers in the industry? I have. So is Tony. But I'm not going to tell you his name. But he's a prick. The worst part about this guy is I was standing around some really attractive ladies that I liked at Sony way back in the day when I was working with this guy. And I was talking about what an asshole he was and what an absolutely terrible producer he was. And the girls were like, maybe, but he's so dreamy. Fuck you, motherfucker. He's a dick. Anyway, point is, Cert says Jaffe here. Okay, let me go to this. This is the last thing we'll talk about sales, and we're going to move the fuck on. Am I right, Tony? Am I right? You goddamn right I'm right, Tony. Because that guy, we know what we're talking about. We know who the fuck we're talking about. Motherfucker. Fucking moron that guy is. You got Doom on Game Pass, Rob? I got a bunch of stuff I downloaded. They came out with a bunch of games this week. Okay, from the NPD release, you have such a good book in you, Jaffe. I guess I do. It's called The Stream, baby. Tony says, you goddamn right. He was such a dick. What a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, PS5 had the biggest launch of the month of any console in the US, beating the previous record, PS4. Great. The Switch was the top-selling console. The Series X debuted lower than the Xbox. Again, though, right, his next tweet. One of the issues with comparing the launches is PS5 and X not only launched in a pandemic, but they were essentially global launches. Stocks for both are extremely supply-constrained, and they sold everything they shipped. Had there been more stock, there would be more sales, right? So, again, that's what I'm saying. I'm not, and I appreciate that link, sir. Thank you so much. I'm not sitting here defending any of these companies in terms of who sold what. I'm just suggesting that it's too early to write the concession speech or the inauguration speech. I agree, Timber. Sony has great exclusives and teams that will make great games. That is, unless something just crazy goes down at Sony. And, you know, there are some cracks in the veneer, but I don't think any of that's going to change this generation. They're fantastic. Portal says, I'm shocked Switch beat them. Why? Switch is... the most expensive Switch is what, $299? How much is the Switch with the actual Switch? And how much is the Switch Lite? Right? Because the most expensive Switch, I want to say, is cheaper than the digital PS5, right? Okay, so the most, yeah, it's, okay, so 200, 300, wait, yeah, $299. Right. So, I mean, that's why they beat them. They beat them in finances. They did not beat them in units sold. Okay. Let's move the fuck on, shall we? Sure. We'll do it, Jaffe. Let's move on. You got it. Thanks for talking to myself. This is fascinating. I want to get your input on this because, you know, again, it's the internet, so I can't say anything without people thinking I'm putting a flag on the goddamn moon and saying, I hate the thing that I'm not saying I love. I'm not opposed to Cyberpunk. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I think for a lot of other people who love that kind of game, I could totally see it being the goddamn game of the year. Not a problem, pal. But a lot of people are complaining about it because of the bugs. A lot of people aren't buying it or returning it because of the bugs. I'm of the mind that a number of people are going to buy it and they're going to take it back and return it because it's not really quite what they thought it was going to be. I'm not saying they didn't advertise it as an RPG. They did. But they also put Keanu Reeves on it. They put a guy with a gun and a girl with a gun on it. They showed car chases, gunfights. And when you get the game, it's action-packed a little, but you got to sit through a lot of stuff that your average person who would buy a game like that is going to go, I don't know. So CD Projekt Red stock falls 29% in the run-up to the launch. They're blaming it on the bugs. So I don't know if these guys could have delayed or not. I don't know if delaying it would have hurt their stock even more. But I think a lot of people suggest that we absolutely should have delayed it. Not we, but they should have delayed it. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there and let you know that right now the share price has dropped. And people are attributing it to the fact that they released a product that a lot of people are saying is almost unplayable on certain platforms where it is running at 15 frames a second on consoles, certain consoles, a lot of consoles. I mean, think about this. You guys know I love streaming and you know I love subscriptions. But when the goddamn Stadia is one of the best places to play. And again, I play it on Stadia. I love playing it on Stadia. It's a wonderful experience. But when that's one of the best places to play, something's gone wrong. We got a super chat. It is from our good pal Giovanni. Hello, Giovanni. He says, let me bring this up. He drops some ducats. I don't know what a COP is, but whether it is equivalent of 5 cents or $5 million, it doesn't matter. Giovanni, I appreciate your time. I appreciate being part of our community, and I appreciate your generosity, sir. He says, hello, Jaffe. Thanks to keep me company while I have dinner. Not a problem. I always enjoy your points of view, even if I don't agree with them all. You know what, Giovanni, I'm going to tell you something. I get that a lot, and I don't have a problem with that a lot. I don't think the goal is to agree with everybody all the time. I think the goal is to debate, discuss, change your mind. Look, I'm playing the goddamn Last of Us tonight, or this weekend, because I'm like, look, I could be wrong. I played The Last of Us 1. It's fine. Didn't love it. I played Uncharted 4. Both these are the Druckmann joints. Didn't care for it that much. Certainly not as much as I like the Amy ones. But I'll give it a try. Maybe I'm wrong. So I hear that a lot. That I like what you're saying, Jaffe, and I always agree with your point of view. We live in a world where people are told more and more that you have to like the people you're listening to, and I think that's worse shit. We should be able to debate, discuss, disagree, and still be pals. So thank you for being here, Giovanni, and thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it very much, sir. Moving right along, there was one more Cyberpunk story, because it's the biggest goddamn story of the year. Game of the year, one of them. Cyberpunk sales have already exceeded its huge development and marketing. You would think that would counter this. You would think that, yeah, our stocks fell, but within a day or a couple of days, we've made back our budget and we've made back our marketing budget. So people are buying it. I do not think somebody was suggesting that they felt that this game, according to analysts, Cyberpunk 2077 is likely to become the 10th biggest selling game of all time at a projected 29.7 million units, replacing its forebearer, The Witcher, 28 million. I have played this game for about 3 hours. I will go out on a limb, and I am okay being wrong, just like I was wrong about the Avengers. There is no way this game is going to outsell The Witcher. There is no way this game is going to be the 10th best-selling game of all fucking time. I mean, unless they patch the fuck out of it, and in doing so, it becomes that, sure. But come on now. Bukaki Drive-By drops $2, and he says, thank you for the company while I go poo-poo pee-pee. You are welcome. Hey, as long as I don't have to smell it. The minute they start doing technology that allows people to actually smell the homes that they're streaming into, I think that's the day we kind of pack up the Gabbin+Games and say, well, folks, it's been a ride, but we're done. Because there ain't no goddamn way. Being in the bathroom while you're taking a poo, Bukaki, would probably be like a blend of being a ground zero of like Nagasaki and being like in a barrel that's totally has no air holes of fish that are rotting. That has got to be what your bathroom smells like right now, Bukaki. But I appreciate you carrying me in to that fucking toxic sludge so I can be with you while you push one out, buddy. Appreciate it very, very much. He did drop a deuce after rally. That's right. Literally and figuratively. There you go. Now, let's move on a little bit, shall we? I want to talk about one more thing business-wise. Listen, I had somebody reach out to me on the... Bukaki says it's way worse than that. So I had somebody reach out to me on Twitter and said, "Hey Jaffe, have you played Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is the new the Ubisoft game?" And I have. I played the demo on Stadia. I'm currently playing the actual game on Luna. I don't know if I'm going to play it a lot right now because I have so many big games I'm trying to finish that I don't need to start another one at the moment. But what gets me thinking is like, it's got pretty good reviews. Everyone who plays it says it's really fun. I think it's really fun. I am stunned that Ubisoft put this out this Christmas. They put this out next to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is very similar to this game. And they put this out in the same 2 months as Watchdog Legion. Maybe the first month is Watchdog Legion. Hello, Down Phoenix. I don't understand. And again, there are things that are happening behind the scenes. Maybe they had to put it out. Maybe, clearly they're not morons over there. They're, clearly sexual assault fans over there and toxic leaders over there. And they're trying to get rid of that and fix that, which is great. But until they do, they're going to have to wear their scarlet letter with shame because they've earned it. But that aside, though, they must have, they're smart. They've been in business forever. They make good stuff for the most part. They must have looked at the numbers and said, look, we know this is dumb and we know we're going to take a bath on this, but we're going to take a bigger bath if we either continue development or we wrap development and hold this till April. But to me, this is a perfect April game or a March game. This is like you've gotten through all the big games. There's a little bit of a lull. Pop this thing out there and suddenly it's going to endear itself to people. But this is bizarre to me that they would put this. Eddie says it got sandwiched between two other Ubisoft open world games. This happens from time to time enough that there has to be something. Even somebody like myself, maybe Tony, Tony has a guy who worked with Tony who's in here. Maybe somebody in the business who's not me can answer it. But it happened. We saw it happen with EA, right? We saw it happen with EA doing Titanfall came out right around the same time Battlefront or Battlefield came out. And it was like, why are you releasing something so similar back to back? And lo and behold, Titanfall 2 got creamed, and it was one of the best fucking shooters of the last 5 years. So I wonder, is there just some piece of business that I'm not familiar with that says, yeah, we know we have to do this. It's stupid. It's going to kill our game, but it beats the alternative. I'm just kind of wondering what the alternative is. Valhalla seems to have done great. Absolutely, Timberwolf. Valhalla is sitting at the number 2 game of November. It cleaned up when it first launched. We'll see if it stays there, but absolutely. Don't be scared, homie. Your name is Don't Be Scared, homie. Says to me, Jaffe, I just wanted to say thank you for creating God of War. You were a legend. Listen to me. I appreciate the kind words, but I appreciate them on behalf of the very large and talented team that I was very fortunate to work with. Did I kick ass? You goddamn right I did. Did I bring some amazing things to that game that only I could have brought? Did I lay some massive fucking bricks? Let me rephrase that. Did I lay a big part of the foundation that still lives on today in God of War, and in that allows that franchise to continue to be a cash cow for Sony and a game that people adore for everyone else? You goddamn right I did. But I did all that with a team of really fucking talented motherfuckers that I'm grateful for. And on behalf of them, I will say thank you for your nice comment. I'm glad you're here, sir. Tony says, Jaffe, the way they put it out has the feel of something they didn't have faith in, but thought, good enough, let the dev team move on to something else. Yeah, but my God, how could you not have faith in it? I mean, if you've played the goddamn thing, it's not, I'm not saying it's game of the year, but it's not like, oh, this is crap. I mean, maybe marketing did. Maybe marketing looked at it and said, unless you're Nintendo doing Breath of the Wild, something this cartoony doesn't fit with something this open world and complicated. It could have been that. Jaffe never going to play God of War 2018. Think about how easy to just pop the game in and play it. I am going to play it, and I may very well play it for a charity stream because I know that's the most requested game I get to play. So I might do something that says, if you want me to play it and you want to watch me play it, it's a $5 admission fee, and every dollar goes to some charity that we all agree on. Absolutely. But I will be playing it in the new year sometime. Rayman for Mickey Mania, on behalf of all of us. It's always the same story. Very few game creators work in a vacuum. Some do, but not a lot. You basically said you didn't make God of War and Twisted Metal because of what society thought should be successful. Wait, this is Eon. Let me read this carefully. I am going to call Corey. I'm going to call Shannon. I'm going to, especially if we do it as a charity, I want to bring those people on. I'm sure they'll call in. You basically said, says Eon, you didn't make God of War and Twisted because of what society thought should be successful, achieved, or famous, but because you did what you wanted to do. I did. And every game I've ever worked on, I've had the luxury working with Sony where they said, just make what you want, Jaffe. And it doesn't mean I didn't keep my eye on the ball. I kept my eye on the ball of marketing more for Twisted and God of War than my later games because I kind of forgot that lesson, and it shows. But yeah, I one of the reasons I'm not looking to make games at the moment is just because, I need to find a situation that will allow that again with the right budget. The last thing I want to do is just be a journeyman game designer and like go work for Ubisoft and Jaffe. You get to design the maps and the weapon system for a new Assassin's Creed. I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I hear you. Immortals doesn't speak to my taste as Eternal, but I will say it's a complete and polished product. Yeah, more than I can say about most games. Yeah, I think it's really good. Timberwolf says, Jaffe, how well did you know Ariel Lawrence? Do you mean the woman who worked at Sony Santa Monica and then I think she's at Riot now? She was like a junior producer on God of War 1. I don't think that woman liked me at all, but I knew her. I worked with her. We got shit done together, but I do not think she liked me. Tony says, I think it's very cool. It appeals to me right now, but yes, the aesthetic and joking nature can put off people who only look at AAA. I don't mind the aesthetic. I love it, but I don't like the jokey shit. Okay, let me see what's going on here. 1 second. Okay. We're not talking about that. I do want to talk about a couple of things, though. I want to show you something. I don't usually show stuff anymore like this, but I want this. I'm a minimalist. I want this. Look at this action fucking figure. It's a Sentinel. They make these metallic superheroes. Look at this goddamn beautiful fucking thing. Look how posable it is. Look at this fucking beautiful Captain America. Look at that goddamn thing. Come on now. Get me one of them. Get me one of them. Isn't that something? Isn't that just an amazing looking figure? Look how you can pose it. Oh, it's total action figure porn. Hello, JT. Okay. Daniel Hobo says, I think it's hard to make a game work on older hardware and new stuff cross-platform. People should expect it to run the same. Well, it is hard, but, that's the job. That's why you're selling your game for $60 and, all that good stuff. Jaffe says he's a minimalist while he has a bunch of stuff stacked on top of each other behind him. That's a set, Rayman. If you saw everything else, I'm not saying like I live in, a white room, but, I don't buy a lot of stuff anymore. Okay, I want to do this. Here's the plan. I want to talk to you guys about some important things really quickly. It won't take very long. Then we're going to take a 6-minute break. Then we're going to come back and play a Little Nightmares 2 demo, okay? But here's what I want to talk to you about first because it is important. We got a good pal, a friend of the stream. His name is Michael McGee. He is a God of War member. He is very interested, and I don't think he's wrong, about letting you know about Project Hope. I'm going to put this in the chat right now if you want to click on that and learn about it yourself. It's basically an organization that tries to educate the public on not eating animals. It's not PETA, but they say, look, a plant-based diet is good for your health, it's good for your heart, it's good for your soul, and it's also good for, one moment, it's also good for our animal little pals. So get in there, pals, and go check out Project Hope on behalf of Michael McGee. If you got a fucking heart and soul, I think you're going to like it. I also want to let you know about a great band called Circus in the Sea. I'm going to put their link in the chat right now. This is from our friend Alex in Chicago. He's the keyboard player, and he is one of the writers of the music of this band right here, Circus in the Sea. I've shown this before, but I just want to show you real quick, like a 10, 15 second snippet of one of their videos. Here we go. This is, oh my God, guys. Come on. I don't know what's going on. This is Circus in the Sea. Where did they go? Come on, Circus in the goddamn sea. Where are you at? All right, well, I'm going to show you somebody else first, though. We also have, as you know, Heath Nation, who is one of our great God of War supporters. There's something happening that he's teasing coming up in 2021. He has not told me what it is yet, but he wants you to look at it, and I do as well. Here you go. This is from Heath Nation. I'll play you the music in a second. I don't know what this is. We know Heath is a wrestler. I do not eat meat. No, Timber. We know Heath is a wrestler. So maybe he's going to do some wrestling. I have no idea what that is, but we will find out in the coming year. This is his YouTube channel. If you want to join him, his name is HeathNation2465. Come on now, stop with that crazy nonsense. This is his channel. He is one of our God of War members, and you can go check that shit out when you are interested. I do want to play you Circus in the Sea really quickly. It's a quick clip, but it's a good song. Circus in the Sea. Let's see what we got here. Bed of Wolves is their video. I'll just put up a moment of it. Here you go. It's got a pretty lead singer, which I don't mind. Look at this. We'll watch about 10 seconds, 15. Let's jump to the melody. Come on now. There she is. I don't know. It's kind of like pop emo, maybe. There she is. This is Circus in the Sea. Right? Not too bad. Yeah, dream pop sort of. I dig it. It's good. It's good people. Okay. Hey, there's Rob the Mod. What's Rob the Mod doing on there? Get out of there. I want to be. Get out of there, Rob the Mod, you old so-and-so. I also want to introduce you to one more member real quick. This is a guy who has a great channel. He's just getting started. He is the son of one of our God of War members, Sir Games X. I'm sure you know him. He has a channel where he shows off his video gaming skills. And I want to send that to you right now. If you're curious about what he does, here's his channel. Do I have her number? I don't, but I'm sure Alex, maybe he'll, if I show him what a kind, gentle folk I am, he'll let me, There we go. This is Sir Gamer X playing his Battlefield. He plays competitively. I don't know if he is going into esports, but he clearly is a good gamer. He takes this shit serious. And he's better than I ever was. That's for goddamn sure. For goddamn sure. All right. So the last thing I want to show you, and then we're going to take a 6-minute break, and we are going to come right back, and we are going to jump into some gameplay. Is now you guys know that YouTube has fucked me on the credits bullshit because it's very hard to show credits. But I'm going to show you the credits the only way I can, and I have a way I'm going to spice this up over the weekend. But I literally have to go to this page, and I have to zoom in on it, and I have to slowly scroll. These are all of our members at various levels, mostly Diet Soda Soldiers. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who are supporting it. As you know, we've got a Mortal Kombat competition coming up. We have lunch with Jaffe next week. I may do a movie night this week. We have a Christmas Day special coming up. All of these people have shown up and said, Jaffe, I like the cut of your jib. I like what you're doing. And I want to throw you some ducats on a monthly basis to allow you to continue to explore this crazy corner of the internet. And I appreciate it, fellas. These are your Diet Soda Soldiers as of today. I will try to find a better way to show you these credits, but right now that's the best I can do. It is not my fault. It is the goddamn fault of the goddamn YouTube. But they're getting better. They're getting better. There's our very first one. That was DW. Okay, and then finally, before we take our break, I want to let you know, Cult Calypso members. We got a bunch of new Cult members, but I'm waiting for pictures to come in. We got Muggin Dude, Random Moose Brains, Groovy Putzman, Melina Khan, and Wolfblood. We've got Afarali, and we've got Master Dragon, and of course, we've got Brian K75, he of NeoGaf fame. Now, something you should know. We got some new motherfuckers coming in on all of these tiers. They will be part of the credits very, very soon. They were in this credit sequence. So they were in the one I just scrolled up. Everybody's in there. But too much. Oh, dizzy. Did you ever just get dizzy? Fuck. Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, it was just Down Phoenix Archives that says, I want to join the Diet Soda Soldiers. Thanks so much, sir. I appreciate that. Everybody toss Down Phoenix Archives. Give him a little Diet Coke, fellas. Give him a little Diet Coke and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift just dropped a brand new album last night. Give this man some Diet Coke. I would appreciate it very goddamn much. Thank you guys very much. I hope you just heard what's going down Phoenix Archives, Mortal Kombat tournament, all that shit. And so you are now a member, and you're going to get to do all that with us, or a lot of that with us at your tier, and I appreciate it. I appreciate your generosity, sir. I appreciate you being here. Let me go back and let you know there's some new people that are going to be joining Brian K pretty soon because we've got a bunch of new people. That's growing. We got Murder Storm, a.k.a. Teddy Torres, God of War member, right there giving you some Simpsons love. We got Heath Nation continuing to say the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Cube Tom is love, Cube Tom is life. There you go. Do with that what you will. We got Dane Barnes, he of the Dead Mouse fan club and the Movie Theater Brigade. The only reason I want movie theaters to stay open is Dane Barnes because he manages one. And I used to work in a movie theater and it was a great goddamn time. And that's currently how the man makes his living. And I want him to be successful. But I also want HBO Max to release Wonder Woman on Christmas Day. So I don't really know what I can tell you about that. But Dane Barnes, thank you so much for your support. And it's appreciated. Now we got a couple of more God of War members and then we're going to take... Is that you, God? I hear God speaking to me. Hello, God. Are you God or are you my imagination? You seem very angry at Bacon Magma, God. Do you want me to give him a message? God is speaking. Wait, he's going away. Come back, God. Are you mad at me? God is mad at me. I am sad. God has given me a sign. He has given me a sign in the name of Timberwolf, who has become a diet soda soldier. God has spoken and he has said, you give Timberwolf a Phil Spencer from Xbox. You load that boy up with Phil Spencer right goddamn now. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. God damn it, I know that. Give him some Phil Spencer love. Timberwolf, thank you so much for joining the Diet Soda Soldiers, buddy. I appreciate that. There you go, Kosh. You're doing it. You guys are giving him some Spencer. Spencer's going to unblock me one day. He's going to stumble upon this chat and say, if it's good enough for Timberwolf, if it's good enough for Down Phoenix Archives, it's good enough for old Phil Spencer. Jaffe, I love you, you old so-and-so. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my fantasy. Now, DW Octorok was our very first member. This motherfucker is on fire. He is a great artist. He does all of our pixel work. He's got some great stuff coming for the Christmas special. He showed it to me the other day. It's fucking crazy. I love it. DW, thank you so much for being a supporter from the Patreon and now this. Fan-fucking-tastic. I hope... you never let me know if you got your truck, man. Let me know if you got your Sweet Tooth truck. And then the latest one is Elliot Page doing comedy with Alex Plox. He had a blue hat. She was pregnant. He was pregnant. Time for Love. That is coming out Christmas Day on HBO Max as well. I'm going to watch Wonder Woman first, then I'm going to watch the story of little Alex Plox. We've got about 6 new God of War members that just signed up recently. As soon as they send me pictures, they will be going up on the board as well. Fellas, that is the core of the stream today. We are going to take a break and we're going to come back and play the demo of Little Nightmares. 6-minute break. Just got to get some Diet Coke. Got to go pet the dog, see if the kids are still alive. And if they are, we are coming back and playing Little Nightmares. If this is where you get off the bus, I want to say thank you so much for being here on the Gabbin+Games stream. Thank you, Bukaki Drive-By. Thank you, Rob the Mod, for modding. Thank you for all the wonderful, generous super chats. Thank you for all the new members. Thank you for all the members in general. And thank you for all of the interesting conversation, regardless of if you're a member or not. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you keeping me company. And I appreciate you talking about games, which is one of the things I love most in life, with me today. I will see you guys maybe this weekend. I'm streaming. Going to stream some Last of Us. Might do a movie tomorrow night. This weekend's going to be pretty fluid. I know for sure, though, I'll be back Monday at 3:15, and I will be back right on the other side of this break to play some Little Nightmares 2 demo. So let me get the break rolling, and we will jump right into that. 1 second. Let me get a song. Let's get a song. Got to play a good song, fellas. And join the Discord. And give the goddamn stream, if you like it, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a fuck yourself. But if you like it... All right, we're going to put this in. Here we go. This is a great song by the band, the Alabama band Sugarcane Jane. It's called Cabin on the Hill, and I'm going to let you listen to that while I go take a piss and get a drink. Where's the break screen? Here we go. See you on the flip side, fellas.
There is a cabin on the hill afternoon, just strumming on a tune. And when the wind is right, you can't catch a smell from that front porch of that cabin on the hill. There is a cabin on the hill where Grandma threw away her pills. Just a little shine, make her feel real fine. And you know that son of hers give her a deal. It's all free to that cabin on the hill. Mama, when you see Rock City, you might think you've seen it all. But there's a place that's twice as pretty. If you want to find a thrill, I promise you, you will. Come on up to that cabin on the hill. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee-dee-dee. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee-dee. Dibby-dibby-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. Uncle Rob took off for Hollywood. He said, son, come on, you know you should. They've got all them stars driving big fancy cars. I said, I bet they ain't got one single still. I'll just stay here in my cabin on the hill. Mama, when you see Rock City, you might think you've seen it all. You might place that's twice as pretty. If you want to find a thrill, I promise you, you will. Come on up to that cabin on the hill. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee-dee. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee-dee-dee. Dibby-dibby-dee, dibby-dee-dee. Dibby-dibby-doo-doo-doo-doo.
If it weren't for your maturity, none of this would have happened. If you weren't so wise beyond your years, I would have been able to control myself. If it weren't for my attention, you wouldn't have been successful. And if it weren't for me, you would never have amounted to very much. Ooh, this could be messy, but you don't seem to mind. And don't go telling everybody, and don't look at this supposed crime. We'll flash forward to a few years later, and no one knows except the both of us. And I have honored your request for silence, and you washed your hands clean of this. You're essentially my employee. I like you having to depend on me. You're a kind of protege, and one day you'll say you learned all you know from me. And I know you depend on me like a young thing would to a guardian. I know you.
Yeah.
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, the time is going, ticking on and on, everybody's rushing, gotta get down to the bus stop, gotta catch my bus, I see my friends, kicking in the front seat, sitting in the back seat, gotta make my mind up.
Rob, take it. Take it, Robert.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to
Heard Vin Diesel's.
partying.
Whoa! Wait a sec. Robert requested the song Here's what we're doing. Anybody who's got the cojones needs to come into the moonshine. No, they need to come into the voice party chat and sing the song. Let's go. Let's go, Robert. Get on in there. I'll start the song when you get in there, motherfucker. Oh, you're in it now. You request song, that means you got to sing it. Tosh had the girl on Celebrity. Yeah. I like her. I think she's great. You can say the Poor Friday girl. I don't think she deserves the hate. It really is a good song. It's a fucking fun song. Is it fucking, look at Rob laughing. No, I open up the channel. Get in here, Rob. The song is fun. It's poppy. It's got a fun fucking melody. What's the problem? I don't understand music snobs. It's a good fucking song. It's stupid, but I mean, look, it ain't as bad as this, which I still fucking love. I love Chinese food. Come on now. This one is fucking great. You know the Chinese food song? Allison Gold, Chinese food. Come on now. Look at this fucking thing.
After falling, I go clubbing. Then I'm hugging. Then I'm hungry. And I'm walking on the street. And I'm
Here's my video.
getting
Come on.
grumpy. I see child by my right. As my food in the air. Chinese food.
Right? This song's amazing. Of course I like lingerie, Bacon. Come on now. I like how she goes clubbing. She's like 14. Wolfblood, you're out. Good to see you, man. We're about to play Little Nightmares. But come on, we got to watch the Chinese food song. Look how mad she is, turning over the fucking thing. Here we go. Melody's kicking in, boys. Here we go. This is the best part. Yeah. Yeah. Look at him just getting into it. She's taking over. Mom's going to let us stay up late. That's right. What do you mean the shame? Fuck you. Fuck you. Main. Come on now.
They got broccoli, even chicken wings. Make it spicy, and you like it, 'cause it's beautiful, and it tastes so good.
Yeah. This is Bob Dylan shit. Oh, fuck off, Bacon, you piece of shit. It's Alexis mine. Oh, hey, Anthony Crawford. Daniel's here. Daniel, did you see Sugarcane Jane? Look at the bear. Look at the bear. How can you not love this video? Yeah. And you guys know you're watching this and doing the little dance. I'm going to go into Panda Express tonight and I'm going to sing this. Fuck you, Jam to Josh. I should have never let you be a member. I would have taken your emotes away. Now, this is the best part. This is the pedophile bear. It's so weird. Why is this old man hanging out with a bunch of 12-year-old girls at a sleepover? The fuck is going on? Disturbing. Sweet and sour is pretty good, though. Haha, he's the drug dealer. There you go. Why are there geisha girls? This has to be intentional. This has to be intentional. I don't know if it's the same guy, Bacon. Scott. I'm going to answer that in a minute. Then we're going to play the game. Get that off here. Get that off here. I want to watch the panda go into the air. Look at that. Phew, there he goes. What happened to the panda? Look at that. There we go, fellas. That was the great Allison Gold doing her classic Chinese food that I think we can all agree is one of the best songs of that generation. It's amazing. Every now and then, a singer comes along that really encapsulates and represents the youth movement at the moment. And that's impressive. Sean says, I feel like I'm going to end up on a watch list. Thanks, Jaffe. Listen, Scott says, Jaffe, you have no right to criticize. You like cuties. Okay, let's be clear about a couple things, motherfucker. First off, I did like cuties. I thought it was but I think I appreciated cuties. It was a very well made, very powerful, very important motion picture. The same people probably who walk around thinking that Donald Trump was screwed out of the election are probably the same people who walk around and say Cuties is bad, who haven't actually bothered to watch it. Cuties is a genuinely important picture about raising kids in the age of culture, the internet culture, and social media, and trying to find a way for a kid to grow up in modern times while still holding on to their family traditions without being a slave to their family traditions. It is quite good. And it's quite important. As for this, I'm not criticizing this. I love that fucking song. I love Friday. I love that goddamn song, Chinese food. I like pop music a lot. I like catchy melodies. I like hooks. I like female singers. Yes, I do. I'm not one of these guys that's so insecure that I have to walk around pretending to like bullshit. So fuck you. There you go. Hey, Star Wars Squadrons has an update. They got a bunch of new ships in there. The black dude in the video, says Bacon, is one of the worst rap verses ever on Rebecca Black's Friday song. And this video proves he's the worst to rap verses ever. No, the worst to rap ever is probably Vanilla Ice. Although he wasn't bad on Ninja. Let's play some Little Nightmares. Give me a minute to set this up because I haven't played a Steam game in a while and I just gotta make it work. And I will do that right now. Here we go. Okay, so there is the game. It is running. I wish you would give me my damn mouse, people. Come on now. Queen stole Vanilla Ice's song. Yeah, I know. Isn't that something? Isn't that terrible? Okay, hang on. I hate when Steam does this. It's like, please give me control of my fucking mouse so I can go to my other monitor. I gotta show the game, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. Alright, hang on a minute. What? Hello there. What's your name? My name is fuck you is what my name is, you son of a bitch. Wow, you're really angry, aren't you? I have a right to be. I don't know, my throat hurts now. Alright, here we go. All right, Gabbin+Games. What? Okay, it should be working. You said the only dissenters were not the people he appointed. That's not true. The Supreme Court, he appointed 3 of them, and there were a bunch of other judges too. Why is this still on my screen then? I'm trying to show you guys the game screen. Game capture. Sorry, fellas. I'm just trying to get the game up. I apologize. Okay. Game capture 6. Specific window. Little Nightmares. Okay. It's gotten more and more difficult lately. I need to figure OBS out more. How about display capture? Let's try that. Nope. we go. All right. I think we're good. I'm not sure why that did that. I'll figure it out later, though. I apologize for the delay. Let us now begin our little game. God, this legal thing is miles long. Why? I like Indian food. Yeah. Why is this not working? What the fuck, man? I gotta update OBS, I think, but not right now. We can make it work. We can get it to work. Come on now. There we go. Okay. All right. Sorry, fellas. Doing the best I can. All right, there we go. Little Nightmares Part 2. Let me get my controller, which is right here. How do you feel about women drugging men and robbing? Shut up, Bacon Magma. God damn, you weirdo. Okay, until the eye is barely visible. Fine. Little Nightmares accesses data periodically. Don't switch off the fucking power. Fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. All right. I never finished the first Little Nightmares, truth be told, but I don't think I'm going to have to play this. Hammer to Fall from Queen. Oh, that's fucking awesome. And One Vision and Prince of the Universe. Fuck yeah. Oh, good, Captain Knack. Good luck on Apex, man. What is happening? Oh, the controller's shaking like a motherfucker. Something's in that door. Something's in that door. Welcome, little person with the bag on your head. It's the Unknown Comic game. That's an old deep cut right there, fellas. Okay, here we go. So the kid came out of the TV. Okay, what do I have? I have jumping. I have sneaking. I have... Is that running? No. I have shouting. And I have... Okay. Oh, it's a great song, Okashi. It's wonderful. Wait. Oh, weird. Miss Games Vids, it is, it's not by the Limbo team, no, but it's in that genre of games, for sure. Inside and Limbo and whatnot. It's kind of... Oh, wait. Do I have... Oh, I can go in and out of the screen a little bit? Okay, hang on. Oh, okay. There's more freedom than those games. I don't remember if Little Nightmare... No, Little Nightmares gave you in and out of the screen as well. You're playing chess.com. When you're saying you just bet $1,700, you mean you just bet $1,700? Did I play Detention? Yes, I did. I didn't get to play the FPS one that they banned, but I played... I didn't finish it because it kind of got not weird, scary, but kind of just it started like this really cool horror game that I loved, and then it kind of became so about politics in Taiwan, and I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know about those politics, and so I was just like, I don't really understand anymore what's happening. But what I played, I thought was really good. Classic Krusty, fuck off. This is a goddamn sequel to Little Nightmares. Come on now. Come on now. Wouldn't surprise me if it comes to Game Pass eventually, though. Is there an interact button? No, no. Wait, why is he... That's just a climb button? Alright, I guess I'll go off this. Hello, Anthony. Things are going great. How are you, buddy? Hold R2. Okay. Or right trigger. I beat it a while back. It was pretty good, so you can never say I hate indie games. I just think you have a very... I don't really believe you half the time, Bacon. I know you're trolling and just being a character. But I think if anybody was actually like you, I think they would be missing out on a medium that is quite exciting. Okay, little shoes, little kids in the bag. You are welcome, Anthony. I'm glad you're doing well. Happy Friday, sir. You love Taiwan? I've never been to Taiwan. I'm just saying... I think that was where it was set. I'm surprised more people relate Cyberpunk to Deus Ex. You know, I played the... Now, I don't know which Deus Ex... Happy Muffin, Combat Muffin, happy Friday to you too, man. I played the first Deus Ex and I loved it. Are you talking about that one or one of the new ones? I was getting for sure a little bit of a Deus Ex vibe, which I liked. And that's one of the reasons I'll probably go back to Cyberpunk and try it again. But I was really finding the dialogue stuff just way too heavy. And I just wanted to play. But, you know, I will go back and spend some time with it. Because once, you know, there comes a point where once you're kind of into it, then I go back and I'm like, well, now I'm curious about the story. So I know if I hit that, I'm going to kill myself. But I want to try it. Or not. Yeah, the first Deus Ex is the one I played. The one with Warren Spector and Harvey Smith. That one. Oh, the newer ones? Yeah, I haven't played. I heard the newer ones are a lot of talk, which I don't care for. Cyberpunk does guide a bit more. It feels like a universal ride. Which game, Groovy Putzman? This one or Cyberpunk? I don't own it on the base PS4. I own it on Stadia, which is something I never thought I would say about a $60 game. Although, to be fair, I paid $50 for it. No one gives Picardi credit for writing the OG Deus Ex. I've never heard of him, so you're right. It's not that I take credit away because I don't like him. I've never heard him associated with Deus Ex. I don't know who he is, but yeah, if he wrote it, that's great to hear. I want a game like this where you play the little Yoda baby, whatever his name is. Has anybody watched the last night's episode of Mandalorian yet? Hi, bro. So which game you think should get Game of the Year? TKV Imbro. I don't know what that is. I don't know yet. I'm putting my list together. You'll have to watch the video. Not to be a dick, I really don't know. I mean, it's probably between like Ghost of Tsushima and oh shit. Ghost of Tsushima, Ultra Kill, and Demon Souls. I am going to play The Last of Us Part 2 this week. And so maybe that'll step up there, but I doubt it, just given the kind of games I like. You're not into it yet. I won't say the spoilers. I mostly want to see the visuals. This game or Cyberpunk? Oh, Samurai Jack was great. I also beat Luigi's Mansion 3, which I know is last year, but anything I play in the year I put on the list, so fuck off. I think it's a kid. Oh, Mandalorian's better than the other movies? You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Oh, Rob, Mandalorian's great. Yes, season 2 is almost at an end. That's right. I will be on a podcast. I think it's called We Have Spoken or something. Talking about the last episode of Mandalorian. I'll let you guys know when that's up. Yeah, I will stream Last of Us Part 2 this weekend sometime, I think. What do you mean, Nawdog? You mean like on ratings they do well? Yeah, a buddy of mine I used to work with at Sony has been doing a Mandalorian recap show, and he invited me on, so I'm going to stop by. Virtually, of course. Combat says, Jaffe, do you think games like Kojima's get a bit of a pass when they have a lot of exposition, sort of like Tarantino getting a pass? It's not the same. Well, they may get a pass from some people. They don't get a pass from me. I love Kojima's games, but I absolutely hate the fact that his storytelling, as interesting as it is absolutely bloated to the point of being comical. As for Tarantino, Tarantino has long dialogue, but it's good dialogue. Like, I've never been... I watched Hateful Eight and thought Hateful Eight was great. Starlord, I've gotten further in Demon Souls in that I'm farming and shoring up my character, but I haven't... And I started playing a new level. I started playing this level, like in these... Not the cave level after the spider, but the... there's like a cave level with these like people living under the ground that are really creepy looking and shit. I hope that by the time I get Cyberpunk there's a patch. I'm sure there will be. Rob says the reason I enjoyed The Last of Us 2 was because I could relate with the characters. Yeah, no, I'm excited to play it. I agree, Rayman. His dialogue is so unique at Tarantino's, it keeps your attention. Okay, does anybody have any idea what the fuck we're supposed to do? My favorite Del Toro movie? I don't know. I haven't seen all of them. I could not get through. I tried, man. I could not get through Crimson Peak. I really enjoyed Pan's Labyrinth. And I have not seen Shape of Water. So thanks for God of War Rock Games. On behalf of all of us who made it, buddy, you are very, very welcome. It was a lot of... Well, it wasn't a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be able to execute that vision. It was a lot of work to execute that vision. But I love that people appreciated it. And on behalf of the team... You are very welcome. Haven't seen The Devil's Backbone. Did he do Hellboy 1? I thought he did Hellboy. Yeah, he did, didn't he? That's right. I need to... Have you guys watched David Fincher's Nano, his new movie on Netflix? What's it called? Monk? Crimson Peak was boring. I thought it looked cool. Yeah, after I watched about 45 minutes or so, and I couldn't hang with it. What am I supposed to do in this game? I believe the secret number, Emilio, does still work for God of War. The phone number, yeah. Could be wrong, but last I heard it was working. I have not played the new God of War game yet, no. I will be playing it I'll be playing it this year. Next year. Hogwash was on at the beginning. He's under contract. He only has to appear on 2 episodes a week. Sometimes he swings by, but, you know. He's got a new lady friend he's entertaining. What do you think about Xbox hate? I think anything like that is stupid. I'm 49 goddamn years old. The idea that people actually have an allegiance to a piece of hardware is the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. I love Game Pass. I love Xbox. I love Sony. I love Nintendo. I love indie games. Do you like any non-mobster Scorsese movies? Like what? I thought the one he did with De Niro and Juliette Lewis, what was that one called? It was a remake where De Niro played like the bad guy stalking Nick Nolte and his family. That was great. The one he did with DiCaprio was pretty fucking great. Cape Fear, yeah. He did one with DiCaprio, Shutter Island, I think, which was really good. I enjoyed that. I didn't see Hugo yet. But yeah. Okay. Think, Jaffe. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street was great too. I enjoyed that too. Silence was Scorsese? Never even heard of Silence. Okay, you guys are sometimes better at this shit than me. Oh, The Departed was good too, yeah. I love The Irishman. I know that's a gangster movie. I know a lot of people didn't love it. I thought it was fantastic. God damn it, Jaffe. Okay, what are we doing wrong? This is Little Nightmares 2, Rock Games. There's a bridge. We clearly can't get across the bridge. There's a big log. We clearly can't get past the log. So the only things we have to play with... Yeah, Gangs in New York was great too. What the fuck was Silence? Have we explored over here? Maybe not. Yeah, there's the log. Christian missionaries. Boy, that came and went. Silence? Never even heard of it, I don't think. Yeah, I loved The Irishman, Eddie. I thought it was fantastic. Oh, okay, I'll watch Hugo then. It sounds good. The Irishman is great, but it's long. Yeah, you do have to be in the right mood, but that's the same thing for Hateful Eight. And that's what's funny, you know, it's just, you can't talk to a lot of people because they're set in their ways and they want to believe what they believe. Like when they say to me, it's like, oh, Jaffe, you're bored of Cyberpunk. You just don't like slow burn stuff. You don't give it a chance. And I'm like, no. Slow burn in Irishman, slow burn in Hateful Eight is still interesting. It doesn't get to the plot for a while. It doesn't start moving for a while. But even that just slow, the carriage ride with Samuel Jackson and Kurt Russell, or the scene with the guitar, or talking about the guy who sat in the chair and setting up the fact that that was how at the end they realized that sitting in the chair, you know, he must be dead because he would have never left the cushion or something. I mean, that's slow burn, but it's engaging. But a lot of people who try to defend boring games assume that they like defend something being boring. And they go, oh, well, it's slow burn. It's like, no, it's just boring. There's a difference. Get down the box and jump over. I've done that, but I'll do it again. What was your take on Arkham series? I don't like stealth games that much, so I didn't love it, but I appreciated it. This kind of looks like Keanu did push more copies out. I thought he was not needed. I have no idea, man. I have not seen The Road. It sounds terribly depressing. I did see the movie The Fog, I think it was, that kind of came out before the not the John Carpenter one, or The Mist or something, which was the a dad and his kid and all this shit, and it was really just heart-wrenching. But I just didn't want to go back to that kind of movie. God damn it, Jaffe, focus. I have not heard Evermore yet. I'm still listening and enjoying the shit out of Folklore. Evermore's the album she put out last night. And I'm almost like, I mean, I love Taylor Swift, but I'm almost like, you know what? Let me get sick of Folklore. I'm still not entirely sick of Lover. The idea of like another group of 15 songs, it almost just feels like, I don't know. It almost feels kind of like it's overwhelming. Like I think it's so cool that she's so prolific, and I love that people love the album. But it's almost like I'm just like, okay, I need a couple of months at least with just the current shit. But so I haven't heard it yet. Jean-Claude Van Damme's a much better actor. Aren't the Steely Dan guys dead, or at least one of them? So I know to do this. I know to go across the way. How much of it have you played, Bukaki? And I can't jump across this by running. I can't go back to any of the other things that I saw. So, do Silence as a movie night? I will if it's available. Is it available on, what's it called? Oh, can I get in this way maybe? Nope. Is it available on, what's it called? Amazon Prime? The Noose. Let's go see what I can do with the Noose. I can't really reach it though, Combat. Climb the bridge. All right, hang on. I don't think I have a climb button. I'll check. Sea of Solitude is about the lady on the boat in depression. Oh, King of Comedy is fantastic. And I haven't seen The Joker, but it obviously complements The Joker in a really interesting way. Okay, I'd love to do something Combat Muffin with the Noose, but what do you recommend? I'll go try to see if I can jump the bridge. Or climb on the bridge or whatever. Can I go back here? No? Maybe? It's weird because they don't demarcate the boundaries very well. So sometimes you're like, oh, maybe the solution's in the background, but you can't get there. Take your paper bag mask off and float? Can you really do that? I don't know if I can do that. It's a great idea. Oh, Call of the Sea. I want to play Call of the Sea. I have that. But I heard that the other one, Sea of Solitude, wasn't great. I turned on my PS4, and PS4 has a Crave, Apple, and Toby on my bar. I tried... Oh, I see. Saw Witness with Harrison Ford. Oh, yeah. We want... is it Toby or Tubi? We used that the other night to stream some movies. Oh, it would be cool, Cooper. It's a great idea. Well, I can't... But maybe there's a grab button. Let me do the run the bridge thing you guys were thinking of. No, you can't even make it over there. And then I have this thing where I have a slide. Hats? Can I take it off? Grab, call, sprint, BA. Okay. No way. Grab the rope. Ah, interesting. Let's try. God. Oh, come on. How would I know to do that? Come on. Well, thank you for the tip. That's lame. I'm trying, Emilio. I don't want to kill the kids. You know, I never got around to playing Braid. This is Little Nightmares 2. But it's just the demo. Hello, Bronson. Good to see you. Oh, you didn't like the Lover album? Oh, I thought it was great. I loved it. I mean, if you're into puzzle games, it's pretty good. Rock games, well, in the case of, he says, why do companies launch games that have all these troubles? In the case of Cyberpunk, is they had to release it. They're a public company in Poland, and I guess they came to the point that they just didn't feel they could hold it anymore. I did play the first Little Nightmares. I didn't play it a lot, though. Never finished it. You use the show on the trap? Use the show? Oh, clever. Correct. I never played Braid. Whose idea was that? Gnaw Dog. Good job. Andreas, I would not agree, but we did talk about that earlier in the stream, though. I'll probably make a standalone video about it. But no, I do not. I do agree that Kotaku should not be covering certain games that they complain about, but I don't have a problem with crunch. But if you have a problem with crunch, then I think you shouldn't play the games, and I think you should not cover the games, and I absolutely think that you should not be giving it awards if you're in a position to do so. I get it, JT. That's funny. I like the look of this game. It's really cool. It's a cool world. Oh, okay. So, Amphion, you're playing Cyberpunk. So you bought Cyberpunk on the PS4 version, but you're running it on the PS5, and the PS5 version runs great. That's good to know. Yeah, but if they skip PS4 though, if they skip the PS4, they would have skipped over 100 million units of hardware. It's hard to justify the cost of a game as expensive as theirs. Love to the mods, indeed. Those, oh shit, hang on. It runs locked at 60 with dips. Okay, cool. That's good to know, man. Can I go through here? I will probably play more Cyberpunk this weekend, unless I do play The Last of Us Part 2, just to make sure I give it a fair shake. But my first impression was average. Not amazing. And, you know, it may have also been the fact that it may be expectations. Like, I'm totally set up to play Last of Us Part 2 this weekend, and I know what I'm getting into, and I can kind of prepare a little for that kind of slow shit, which I don't really like, but I can at least prepare for it. Maybe if I go back and restart Cyberpunk and go, okay, look, this is what this is. That's what this is going to be, so you need to kind of prep for that. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. I don't fucking know. Or maybe it's just not for me. You're worried about playing PS4 games on PS5. It makes the other section of storage space balloon. Interesting. Only when I'm playing downloadable games from PS Now on my PS5, and I'm also playing Tsushima. But Combat says the prologue is long, like you said, but it does pick up. I was super confused during the whole prologue. Okay. Papa Jaffe pays the 3 mods 3 cents every time we take our shirts off. Is it 3 cents? That's too much. I know I might be getting it, Naw Dog, but honestly, that's kind of the game's job to put me in that headspace. If they want to really emulate movies that are, you know, again, I don't know what to tell you, man. Gamers are very willing to forgive a lot more than most other audiences. Like movies work their asses off to keep you engaged the entire time. Gamers are willing to accept, well, you got to be in a certain headspace, and it takes about 6 hours to get good. And you know, okay, I get it, but that's a terrible thing to tell video game companies that gamers are willing to put up with. Yeah, Char, you actually enjoyed the intro. That's great. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are just into that automatically. Movies are an older medium, JT, but that excuse doesn't work that well anymore. The first real commercial movie was 1920, and now we are basically 100 years. But within 19 years of movies, you had classics that, even though they look really old and are really old, still hold up today. You can still watch It's a Wonderful Life from 1939. You can still watch Stagecoach from 1939. I mean, you can even still watch some silent movies, and even though they're really old, the core works. Video games have been around long enough now in a commercial form that I don't think that excuse doesn't hold as well as it did back, you know, when PS1 era. Novodamus, that's not really true. Novodamus says Citizen Kane is viewed as one of the greatest of all time. The problem with Citizen Kane is a lot of people don't really understand why Citizen Kane is oh yeah, Nosferatu is terrifying. At least his look. They don't really understand why Citizen Kane is so appreciated. Most people who watch Citizen Kane don't watch it and go, wow, that's a really entertaining movie. It's because it introduced, and I've said this before, I think video games have had their Citizen Kane moment, and it was Mario 64. Citizen Kane introduced all kinds of new filmmaking techniques that absolutely changed storytelling language for movies. Because up until that point, not all of it, but there was a lot of language that was taken directly from just filming stage plays almost. And Orson Welles comes along and says, hey, we can move the camera like this. We can do lighting like this. We can do cuts like this. He's not the first guy to do that. But he did it in such a big way with Kane. That's what people usually refer to. But when people in games say, oh, we haven't had our Citizen Kane moment, I think they're talking about story, and they don't actually understand why Citizen Kane is important. This is cool, but it does look like Resident Evil. I do want to watch that movie about the writer of Citizen Kane that David Fincher just put out, which is on Netflix this weekend. Well, I get that not everyone's a film student, but people should, I don't know if people are dumb. Let's put it this way. I'm not saying people are dumb, but if you're in the media, and I've seen a lot of people in the media write about where's our Citizen Kane moment. It's like if you're in the media and you're writing for like a decent sized site and you don't really know what that means, you probably have the resources to do some research. Mank starts out real boring. Does it get better? Hello, Kratos. This is Little Nightmares 2, the demo. I got you, Robert. I heard the movie was beautifully shot, but fans of Citizen Kane are bored. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw it when I was at USC, and it was just like, the guy who ran the class had to explain it. He's like, you'll hear a lot of people talk about this, but here's what they're talking about. It's not what you think. Oh, can I do things with them? I wonder if it's like Puppeteer. I like the world that I'm in, but there's so many, everything's so interactive that I don't really know, what to do. Like, do I try to open drawers, or, and do I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Let's go this way. I don't intentionally turn on the elitist chat, as you call it. In fact, it is on right now. Top chat is on. I'll change it. I don't do that on purpose. That's the default of YouTube, and usually someone has to remind me. There you go. I never saw The Killing, no. No, you're absolutely right still. Those are games that are more like Citizen Kane, what they introduce. Very few movies from the 40s stand the test of time. I don't know. Shop Around the Corner, Universal Horrors, The Werewolf, It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I can probably name 30 of them that do, but I mean, considering how many they made, I guess you're right. You know what movie stands the test of time is Singing in the Rain. That movie still is a joy to watch. Jaffe, they just approved the COVID vaccine. I know I am not taking it. Are you taking it? I don't know. I want to do a little research, man. Oh, Japanese films from the 40s? Yeah, I should. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Oh, the Little Rascals still stand the test of time. Chaplin does. Classic Krusty, I don't know what that means. GWTW? You still have COVID? How are you? I didn't know you had COVID. Hello, Silent. This is called... Oh, there we go. Can I get up there? This is the Little Nightmares 2 demo. Put on Daddy's boots. I wonder if I could. Yeah, Gone with the Wind. It's racist, but it holds up as a movie. You're making an action 2D game, says Andreas, where the main mechanic is a glorified rock, paper, scissors combat. Where do you stand on time pressure? I think time pressure is fine in games if the goal is... if the joy of the gameplay is built into that. What I don't like with time pressure is if it's a game that's telling me I'm going to be immersed in a world and a story, and all I'm worried about is the fucking ticking clock. I find that super annoying. COVID's unpredictable. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to see how long this guy's had COVID. And the thing also is, if you, I know there's a difference between an antidote and a vaccine, but just so we're clear, if you take the vaccine, that means you might be immune from it within a percentage chance, right? It doesn't mean if you get it and then you take the vaccine, you're going to be okay, correct? Or does it? Because if it does, then I'll just wait. If any of us get COVID, then we'll take the vaccine. I have no idea, Cooper. They haven't explained anything in this game yet. And I never finished the first Little Nightmares. So I don't know if there's like a story or it's like, oh, if you played it and finished it, you would know. Okay, so the vaccine keeps you immune, but it doesn't save you if you get it, right? Vaccine is immunity for a time period. Okay. It's not a treatment. Okay. Nice. Jonathan says it feels like the flu or a really bad cold times 10. It's very bad. You don't know how you're still alive. Well, I'm glad you are. Are you getting better slowly? Well, we know it's a once-in-a-lifetime virus. I mean, it could come... I mean, something could compete with it. But we haven't seen a virus like this for over 100 years, and the average lifespan is not 100 years. So mathematically speaking, here comes Balrog. Char, you had it bad for 4 days, COVID. Do you know where you got COVID from? Like, can you look back now and say, "Oh yeah, I was being reckless," or were you being totally safe and it still got you? I think what I can tell you I don't like about this game right now is everything is so interactive that it's really difficult for me to know, what's just sort of visual and what is functional. Jonathan says it's something I've never felt before, never want to feel again. I think I'm going to get hospitalized. So you're not getting better right now? Is it good, Joe? Is the game good? So far it is, if you're in the right... There's a bug. I mean, this is just the demo. I would say so far, if you're in the headspace for a puzzle game, it's good so far. It's kind of one of these kinds of games, like Limbo, Inside. So if you like that genre, I like it. But It doesn't seem to be all that different. And yeah, the world is amazing. I agree. Okay, so you're not getting better. Have you been to the doctor, and does the doctor just say, just stay home and fight it out, and if you get really bad, go to the ER? Right, no, you're absolutely right. Still, limbo and inside keep you on a more of a path. This is much more kind of, you know, it's more free. The only reason I'm retracing a lot of my messages is because iPhone keeps cramming words together. Okay. Not a problem, Rob. Do you get used to it? Not yet. I mean, it's only the demo. But like right now, like see this shelf I connected with, the shelf in the other room I didn't. I did play Ori and the Will of the Wisp a little bit. I want to play it more. I'm playing this just for this stream. I might stream something tonight. I don't know. Yeah, see, it's hard. It's really interesting. Apparently, viruses tend to evolve and be less deadly. Oh, right. New Year's Wish, a new Twisted Metal. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hear you. Nawdog, have you finished this? Have you played the demo? Jonathan, you've tested positive. You've been on quarantine for 7 days. So, right, but when you say you think you need to be hospitalized, are you just worried that's going to happen? Or you're saying you're feeling worse every day and you think you need to go to the doctor? Oh, shit. Stanley Parable. I will eventually. No, go up. You're feeling worse every day, so bad you're having a hard time typing. Do you live alone? Can you have somebody take you to the doctor? And is it mostly fever, or are you having a hard time breathing? Oh, I hear you, Cot. Yeah, no, I know. It kind of sucks in that way being on the West Coast. Yeah, we'll try to make the next ones earlier. I hear you. I respect that. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, healthcare has to be universal. Tied to employment is ridiculous. It's 5 a.m. where you are? Jesus. Yeah, Americans are super greedy. But the greed is really about fear. They're not like bad people. They just we don't have safety nets over here. And so it really exacerbates that sort of dog eat dog mentality. Did you know Trump is pushing through executions of prisoners? I know he did one last night. He's a nightmare, man. I mean, even today what happened, I've always tried to keep an open mind, and I've said on the stream before, I've said, if there's evidence that there was, tampering with the election, then I'm absolutely in support of that coming out. Because, as much as I want Biden to be the president, like I said, I want to win. I want my side or my president or whatever to win fair and square. But if he cheated, he cheated, and that needs to be called out, and there need to be consequences. And as much as I hate Trump, if he won the presidency, he won the presidency. But it's continually thrown out of court. The Supreme Court threw it out today, and yet his base is still going. There's this big corruption going on, and I'm like, I don't necessarily think you're wrong. Like, I wouldn't put it past people, but you offer zero evidence. Yeah, we have to fight against Biden too. Biden's not perfect. Biden is not as liberal and progressive as I think Americans need, but he's certainly a stopgap of the nightmare that we were living with Trump. At least if you don't like Trump, and I didn't like Trump. No, I get it, Star-Lord. He's saying that, to keep his his fan base riled up. But there's a point where won't his fan base go, okay, okay, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt a lot because I like you and I'm in you vibe with me. But you'd think there's a point where they'd go, okay, this is starting to be stupid though. Right, Eternal says it's insane. 17 states are currently attempting to undermine the election and throw out people's votes. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. But, that should tell us how easily, here we are in 2020 with all the history and connection and all that shit. And we're still able to believe, we're able to convince people of stuff just by, like you said, fear-mongering with zero evidence. That's crazy. And it's terrifying, really. Yeah, they just, no, I'm hoping the Supreme Court does, gets rid of that shit. Metallic, I know, look, man, every court so far has said you guys have zero evidence. I mean, I don't know what you need to believe, man. You want to believe that there are people who signed some stuff that won't be used in court because they're not allowed to be used in court? Or do you want to believe the Supreme Court? Do you want to believe all the federal courts in the land that have basically told all the lawyers that they don't have evidence, and because the lawyers will get in trouble if they lie to the judge, when the judge asks point blank, do you have evidence, they have to say no. I mean, I'm fascinated that, you know, that's not evidence for you. Like, the Supreme Court is the one. 3 of them that were put on by Trump. A couple of them that were put on by other Republican presidents. So you're under the impression that the Supreme Court is also in on it. And all the federal courts are also in on it. I mean, think about the hoops you're willing to jump through just so you can continue to believe what you believe and ignoring the logic. I mean, think about it's crazy, man. Right, eternal, absolutely. You know, the world of this is crazy. I love the art in the world. The gameplay is a little eh. But the art, the world is so amazing. This is great. This is so cool. Stadia or Luna, which performs better? They're I'd say they're comparable. If I had to guess or say, I would say probably Stadia, but not by enough. Not by enough to make a difference. I have not tried GeoForce Now, no. This is Little Nightmares 2. It's the demo though. I wonder if it's co-op. Like, is this an AI? But I mean, it's obviously an AI. Is this an AI, but it becomes a human character if I was playing it with someone else? Oh, this is on PC, but it's gonna be on everything. Yeah, Little Devil Inside looks really cool. But yeah, think about this. They have done some amazing world building. They make you wonder what the story is about. And there hasn't been a single cutscene. Good night, Andreas. It's all happening in real time. It's all using the medium. Now, you can use the medium smarter, but I'm much more interested in playing a game like this than just watching someone's movie. I agree, Jose. I didn't love the first Little Nightmares. I thought it was fine. Oh, can we go in the leaves? But I didn't like it enough to finish. This is great. This is so cool. I might go back and play it, Nawdog, now that I'm loving this. I'm very excited to play this final game. This is really amazing. It does exactly what a demo should. Yeah, get brownies for this game. There you go. I just wanted to try it. Oh, Star-Lord is terrible. Well, a big problem the Republicans have. Why are Republicans so hell-bent on disqualifying vote by mail? The problem is Biden won the presidency, but the Republicans won a lot of seats in Congress, which means if they start throwing out ballots, not all of those ballots are for Biden, which means some of these senators that won and congressmen that won may end up actually losing. So, you know. That was great. I really liked that. That was a great fucking demo. Great fucking demo. I enjoyed that a lot. When is it coming out? Let's find out, shall we? Visit the store page. February. Okay. Well, let's go to my goddamn wish list. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Is there a way to give presents to anyone in the chat? Is there a way? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Is there like a technical way you mean? I don't know what you mean, man. Little Nightmares 2. You play as a young boy trapped in a world that has been distorted by humming transmission of a distant tower. With 6, the girl in a yellow raincoat is his guide. You set out to discover the secrets. I'm totally in. It's coming to PS4, PS5, PC, Xbox, Switch. Great. Great. You mean like gift subs is what you mean? I don't know if that's possible. I wish that was possible, because you can obviously do that on Twitch, but agree still. This game right now is showing one of the most simplistic parts of interactivity that for the most part is dismissed as not important. It is insane that people dismiss gameplay. Like, I've actually read forums where people suggest that story is as important as gameplay. And I'm just like, are you out of your fucking mind? For a movie, yeah. All right, I'm fried, fellas. Listen, that is it. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the new members. I appreciate all the members. I appreciate everybody in general being here and hanging out and spending some time with us on the stream. Robert, thank you so much. Bukaki, thank you so much. all the God of War tier members, and all you guys. Just fucking great, man. I will probably stream this weekend. I may even stream tonight. I want to stream some, might stream Cyberpunk. I might pick up Last of Us Part 2 this weekend. On and on and on and on. But I'll let you guys know. Worst case, Combat Muffin, thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate it. Worst case for me, I will be back on Monday at the 3:15 hour, give or take. And I'll see some of you guys then. Have a great weekend. Please be safe. The guy who has COVID, what was your name again? Don't respond. I'll scroll up and find your name. I don't want you to type. You're saying it hurts to type. Everybody, whatever God you pray to, or whatever fantasy creature you pray to, or however you wish people well, please wish our buddy in the chat. Who is it? Jonathan M. Jonathan M, buddy. Get better. Take it easy. Watch some good TV if you can this weekend. And hopefully you will not need to go to the hospital. You just need to work your way through this. I'm sorry you got it. Take care. See you.